Alright, hello Twitch, hello YouTube. We're gonna get started right away. And, oh, I'm getting ads. I have my laptop open. I'm gonna check what type of ads I get on Twitch. I don't know why I'm getting a pre-roll ad. That feels wrong. Those should be off. Auto ad manager, what are you doing? Anyway, I need to put the drafts on screen. We're gonna figure that out when we get there because we are getting there right away. This is not TTL Gold. This is RBW round, or I'll just put round of 8, or no. Round of 8. Best of 5. This is the last chance qualifier. There we go. That tells us where we are. And round of 5, round of 8. Alright, so Sebastian in the blue, Mihi in the red. These players want to qualify for Red Bull. So let's see here. We have maps that are back. RBW7, comma, Dorothea Quarry. Using commas to update the version name of maps, I guess, without putting a different version number, maybe. Archers here hoovering around. And let's double check my YouTube stream is live. That it is. Welcome everyone on YouTube too. All the buttons to press for me, and I think we're getting caught up to live time here. I was a bit busy this morning taking care of some last minute car stuff. Like I said, I had a car that got hit in the parking lot the other day. Everything's fine, we just need to make sure it gets fixed in a timely fashion. And we will have lots of walls here for Mihi, but he didn't wall up to the side. He'll need to scout that. Sebastian managing to wall, but has to be careful of over chops that could come in soon. We'll have some long swords here. Inside being chased down by crossbows. I can actually look at the civs now. Portuguese Romans. No one really fighting over the water at the moment. No dock even from Mihi. Tons and tons of oysters scattered about. And Triphammer. Sebastian 3-2 prediction. That's a prediction right there. As those long swords chase the crossbowmen away. The crossbows start to get poked down by the long swords. Poked down indeed. And the long swords will be forced away. Ooh, crossbows. What is that pathing? Trying to get out of those destroyed walls. And I wonder, is anyone seeing ads on Twitch? Because I'm not right now, and Twitch is telling me maybe there should be an ad soon. Maybe Twitch is just playing pranks on me. Oh yes, I want to watch this set. Nice. Hello, Arbase. Hello, hello. I figure I'll cast the round of 8 sets, whatever is happening now. There should be a couple of these. And Tundra Blitz. Hello, hello, hello.
Salve.
And longswords will go down to the cav archers as we slow down there. And Derp Tank, hello. Hello, everyone. Hopefully y'all are having lovely days. And the cav archers will be chasing the longswords down now. 2 HP for this longsword. And he'll go down to the cav archers. Other longsword running around. We'll find some oysters. Oh, wow, I am getting an ad in conjunction with Twitch's ad break. Interesting. This is my experimenting to see how the ads work. So I have my laptop, I'm watching an ad for what looks like some type of mobile game. I'm so sorry about the ads. Not visible live on Twitch. That's probably because I just went live and Twitch probably takes a minute to update. I've been live for about 3 minutes. So double docks here from Mihi as Sebastian brings the fishing ship out. And Sebastian not quite in time to stop Mihi from constructing the docks. As the Romans, Mihi has entered Scorpion mode and will be using the Scorpions to defend the docks. No ballistics yet, but as I say that, he clicks ballistics. And a few cav archers running around. I'll have some mouflons down here. Mouflons, wonderful animals. Can use them as deer, kind of spread out. I like the little rocks on the hills by the trees. Those look pretty cute. Ooh, that's an idea. I'd say I could put some trees near rock formations. I'm worried villagers might try to path to them, though, and get stuck. So Sebastian with crossbows will have to run away. One thing to worry about late game would be Romans with dromans. Perhaps being able to go early imp, take the water, and start besieging the land area at the front of Sebastian's base. Don't know if dromans would reach the TCs. I'm pretty sure the fully upgraded Portuguese elite cannon galleons with siege engineers will reach the TC. 16 range on them. Not sure if the dromans with only 12 range. I guess they get 13 with siege engineers. Romans lack demo, but will have great fast fires. Won't have the final speed upgrade, but other than that, they do have shipwright. So interesting matchup on the water. Portuguese, one of the best late game civs, but they do lack fast fire. Maybe we just see demo plus a galleon from them. Alright, ad should hopefully be over then. So another dock coming forward for Sebastian as the fires will look for the fishing ship, the one poor fishing ship from Sebastian, and push into the dock. Another fire coming forward from Mihi. The village will go build a house atop that hill, as these crossbows still chillin'. Mihi did wall up using university as part of the wall. Look at beautiful Doubt as that statue. There he is, Doubt in all his glory. All listen and learn from Doubt. Doubt teaches us how to play Age of Empires. So fires on the way from Sebastian. Bowsaw just on the way from Mihi. Sebastian not having the best deco upgrades either. No bowsaw for him. At least he does have wheelbarrow, but Mihi will be pulling ahead as handcart is there. Thera's gonna have to add a T to his name. Thera. So Mangonel Cav Archer push. Mangonel's important against all the scorpions. Cav Archer's uphill, raining arrows down upon that scorpion. Who slowly runs but is unable to get away. And with that tower, just a watchtower, not a guard tower, the Mangonels have to run back. Mangonels attack the TC. And the Mangonel goes down. No, survives. Just barely. Oh, the Mouflons are right-clicked. And MF AoE. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? And oh my gosh, this is the Imp TC. Mihi, no, put Imp in this TC. Imp in this TC. No, don't put it here, Mihi. What are you doing? There are 4 Mangonels here. They're getting repaired. Handcart on the way. They'll here get sniped down. Oh no, Mihi. Not like this, not like this. We got 2 minutes of game time for 4 Mangonels to destroy that TC. Not a 5th on the way. Ooh. Sebastian goes 1 for 0 here, then he probably takes down the TC. That tower is crucial for Mihi right now. And, okay, that Mangonel dodges. Mangonel dodges again, but takes a hit. And Mihi, the more Mangonels he has, the more time he buys himself. Mangonel goes down. This one doesn't really take a scratch. And there we go, attacking the TC again for Sebastian. Meanwhile, at home, he is still booming away on that large hill. Some TC's up atop the hill. And that tower is so far so good for keeping the Mangonels at bay. Perfectly calculated if Mihi wants to go Imp here, doesn't want to train Vills there and put the Vills elsewhere. But this is still dangerous for him. Can you attack ground the corner of the TC and extend your mango range this way? No, attack grounding the... Well, I guess you can do splash damage, but you're not doing full damage to the TC there if you do that. You can do some splash damage. Usually, though, right-clicking the TC extends your range by virtue of the edge of the TC is used for the range check, but the shot still goes to the middle of the TC. So if there's anything in the middle of the TC you want to hit, Villager is another Mangonel, by right-clicking the edge of the TC, you actually go farther. You could technically be slightly farther away from the Mangonel and attack ground the edge and do splash damage, Well, you're just doing splash damage there. It's not full damage. And Kita. Oh, okay. Sebastian deleted that. Hello, Kita. How you doing, Kita? Good morning to you. Is your sleep schedule like mine right now? I don't know what time it is for you, but it's probably early. I hope you have a wonderful weekend filled with lots and lots and lots of pizza. And ponds you can skip rocks across. Trying to fix the sleep schedule. It's 8:16 a.m. I want to go back to sleep. that's the time I would go back to sleep. I feel you there. So the Droman is out, the Roman Droman, and Sebastian will attempt a strategy known as the redock on a corner of the lake the enemy is not paying attention to. And so far so good for that. Downside though, no fast fires for the Portuguese. They have to go galleons, and they will need quite a few galleons to fight properly on the water. Good news for them is they do have a gold discount and extra HP for their warships. So that'll work out pretty well for Sebastian. And we will have a castle race here. A castle race that Sebastian will win because Mihi canceled his. Those Cav archers do have ballistics, chemistry, bracer, galleon, and finally bowsaw all on the way for Sebastian, but Mihi taking a great score lead, 140 to 106 Vils. And castle drop on Mihi's redock. That'll be rough to deal with. At least he will get galleon. And house coming up here. Are the games best of 5? Yes, best of 5. Messenger, best of 5. Cavalier chasing the Cav archers away. How'd Yo do against Valessa earlier? I saw he was in a tight set. Valessa played really well in TTL. It looked like he might have had a shot. He has been. It has been great. Sebastian needs to hope that now Portuguese beat Romans late game, which maybe they do if they go full gunpowder. And Cannoneer, Halb to deal with Cavalier, Centurion, and then Bombard Cannon. Maybe they can retake the water at some point, but he has locked this down. Hello, hello, hello. Galleon running away. And there is the Halb, but Halb's maybe a bit too late as Cavalier raids have commenced. And Mihi has a 35-vil lead, and Sebastian will simply call the GG as Mihi takes game number 1. We missed the very start, but Dorothea Quarry can turn into a boom game after an aggressive opening. And it was Sebastian with more military trying to push, but unable to do so as Mihi boomed and boomed away. So, there we are. Time for me to figure out where the drafts are. Let's see, I had them somewhere. There they are. I just put drafts over here. Apologies for not having them on the screen. I didn't have time to set up an overlay. Still dealing with car issues. And I need to swap them. We have Sebastian to the side, and Mihi to the other side. And when we look at the drafts, here we are. That could be zoomed out a bit. There we are. We'll have Dorothea Quarry won by Mihi. And oh, so much randoming. Hold on. I need to turn Dark Reader off. There we go. Now the die of their right color. And that was, what even were those saves? Romans, the first picked Romans against the Portuguese. So, home maps for Sebastian, Loch Ness and Thames. He's doing the 2 RBW UK themed maps. Mihi, Glacis and Vulpine. And Jessica, hello, hello, hello. Like I said, apologies I don't have these on my overlay. I was dealing with way too much card trouble this past week. And we are already into game number 2. We got 50 seconds. It'll be Vulpine with Inca versus Armenians. You see, there is a chance the maps fit on my TTL overlay if I do that. Let's see that. Okay, the maps almost fit there. I don't want to break that overlay though. I'll have to do a new one. Hold on. RBW drafts. That there. Do some copy and pasting. Let's just do like this. Got a bit larger. There. That works, right? And more drafts all set up after the game. It never is convenient. Never is. Well, we're in the game. Drafts will be set up after this one, and we are on Volpine. So, here we are. Sebastian will be the blue Inca to the southwest, Mihi, the red Armenians to the northeast. It'll be immediate scale mail armor for Sebastian, not even going for an eco upgrade, just the armor, and he's looking to pump out eagles. And at the same time, the scout from Mihi wants to delay the archery range. But one bill there will manage to build the range. Now eagles hoovering around for Sebastian as a villager hits a fox. And eagles chase a vill. I also forgot to, chat, you gotta remind me to do ads between the games. I'm trying to experiment if playing ads myself actually delays the Twitch ads or not. So more eagles, and Sebastian's initial plan was raid the Foxvilles with eagles, survive arrow fire because of the armor, and almost kill the scout. And lost an archer, but gets a spear, and will get the scout. So kills the scout, and now may be in a position to overwhelm the archers with eagles. Fletching is in, but then so is armor. 2 damage per arrow as the eagles come around. Meanwhile, the vills for Sebastian still working on gold, using the early gold to boost the eagle production. As the eagles keep running around, but Sebastian needs to be careful to keep microing them, doesn't want to lose to the archers. Mihi has looked well practiced so far. Some skirms coming forward, and that's the secret of the Inca, they're cheap skirms. And just like the Koreans, they get a skirm discount, only it's food instead of wood. And Mihi looking to wall up, trying to wall everything up, has to be careful about walling with the fox corpses. And deciding not to wall instead. Just wants to go for more foxes. And if you have skirms instead of archers, you don't threaten vills all that much. Fletching on the way now for Sebastian, as scale barding armor comes in from Mihi. Have 10 watch and scale barding armor on the way. As more scouts in that stable are trained. Some vills on the wood line there with the mule cart chopping their trees as Mihi looks to wall up. So far so good also for Volpine spawning properly and not having bugged maps. All's good there. And the eagles will come forward to fight the skirms. Scout cav on the way from the stable. Lots of agalos, lots of hoovering agalos, but also facing lots of archers. You get enough feudal archers and you certainly can deal with eagles, but maybe the eagles come from behind. I do wonder if there's ever a point where the eagles might want to jump the tower. So, skirm and eagle combined for Sebastian. Skirm's trying to push back the archers. Archers can garrison the tower if they really want to. Gives them a bit of a leg up in the foot race. But now here come the scouts. Not that many archers around for Sebastian, so might not want to take the fight. Really needs the eagles involved. And we'll be fighting under the tower. This is the best fight he can take, trying to push back some skirms. The scouts are the real menace here, though. Both eagles and scout cav. And it looks like Sebastian will be taking the better of this fight. Doesn't look like he wants to jump the tower. He suddenly saw eagles flying. Well, the hawks are going to be flying past. Remember the Lord of the Rings? When the forces of the West were assembled in front of the black gates of Mordor, and all appeared lost, but then the Agalos started hoovering. I'll remember that. Yeah, longswords. Armenian longswords? I am seeing some forging. Well, that's for the scouts. Res collected still pretty similar for both of them. Much better KD for Sebastian. Here is a mule cart. And clicking up to the castle age is Sebastian, managing to go up. Usually the scouts here, they cost a ton of food. If you go too heavily into scouts, you do slow down your castle age timing. But usually it means you have a lot of farms, so you don't have to delay yourself to click up too much. You can kind of pick and choose when you go up. Arbe's saying, okay, this is over. You think it's over already? Due to the castle age timing? Maybe it is, but there's bloodlines. I guess one last chance for the scouts to take one big fight. Skirm's picking off some archers. Picking off other skirms. And those eagles all go down. Scouts go down there. I'll have gold mining and castle age on the way from Sebastian. It's Nova until it's over. So, chainmail armor on the way for Sebastian. There is an overchop there, but noted and walled immediately. 3 barracks eagles will be the play as chainmail and eagle warrior come in. And behind that there will be another TC. Nice little hillock upon which to build that TC. Graceful, not graceless of a hillock. Not gonna cause the abdication, as the AI message would tell us. And there's a GG from Mihi. There we go. Not able to deal with the 3 barracks eagle spam that would clean up his forward army, and at the same time he's being raided at home, not up yet himself. So well done by Sebastian to tie it up 1-1. After a long game of Dorothea Quarry, manages to play a non-Korean mirror matchup and come out on top in it. Volpine without Koreans, I don't think I've seen this ever. Has there ever been a Volpine game without Koreans? Alright, so let's do this. I'll do a bit of that. And then I'll do a bit of copy, paste reference. Then I'll do a bit of this. There we go. Like, this should be centered more, I think. Like there. There, is that kind of centered? Slightly to the right, maybe. Oh, ads. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see if this works. I'm going to do maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute and see if that does anything. My experiment. Thank you very much, Jessica, for the reminder. And then one more browser source. RBW civs. Alright, let's maybe make these drafts a tiny bit smaller. Just group them. Let me just transform, edit transform. Well, there's no scale transform, it's a size transform. Go like this. Go like this. Actually, do I need the names on the top? I probably don't. There, you go there, maybe a bit smaller. Everything's gonna be a different size now. Maybe slightly larger. Go to center U. Then we'll go like that. Then copy, paste, reference. And these will be the admin bands down there. This should be over. And then there, that's a roughly centered overlay with all the everything we need. Let's see, these could be up slightly, separate the maps and the civs. There we go, that works, right? Maybe this goes up a bit. There. We have everything we need now on the overlay. And it's time for the next game. It's time for game 3. It'll be Loch Ness. So get ready to say hi to Nessie as we'll get into game number 3. Meow versus Mihi? Sebastian a cat? So we'll have Mihi to the west as the Aztecs, Sebastian to the east as the Italians. What are these civs? I don't think I've seen either civ on this map before. And where is Nessie? Where is Nessie? Arbe saw Nessie. Okay. Why are the two admin civ bans? They are just randomly banned. Why they decided to do that, I don't know the logic behind why they did their drafts. I'm not the admin here. But that's just how it is. 2 random civs that are banned, I believe. Usually tournaments have more admin bans. The point is that when people play AoE 2 on the ladder, aside from the Red Bull qualifier, usually people play random civ, and it's the random bans are both to replicate that, so that there is a bit of randomness in the civs players need to play, and also to prevent repetitive duplication of civ matchups throughout a tournament. Yeah, Arbase, do some checking for us. Yeah, I'm as I said, I'm not an admin of this event. I will be for the Brazil land, but not of this one. So we need to get the civs in, or get the maps and everything sorted for that soon. The eagles hitting the villagers. Eagles atop the hill, knifing the eagles. Some more archers come over and hit the eagles. Ooh, that is a weak Vil, but not picked off by Mihi. Sebastian will retire her to life on a farm and clean up the eagles. So far, so good for Mihi in terms of walling, and up to the castle age right away. Double barracks, this is an eagle build from Mihi, not wanting to play water. He's gonna say, I'm not gonna see Nessie at all. Okay, I have an ad break in 3 minutes, which tells me that playing the 1 minute of ads between games did not actually minimize the ads we're seeing. It's just random. Okay. Owns player's strategy. Well, I think I know different tournament hosts have different opinions. For me, I feel that having one fixed strategy isn't the way I want to see tournaments. I want to see players prepared for a variety of Civ matchups, rather than playing only one Civ or one strategy. I think it's much more fun when you have to be more adaptive. People actually like this map. It has Nessie on it. It is much better than The Passage, so we gotta at least give it some credit. And what I learned is that the ponds that hold Nessie have to be fairly large. She only appears in medium or deep water, but her animation is quite large, so the pond has to contain the entire animation. A map can be fun for 3 seconds every 10 minutes makes it okay. Hey, there are some maps that do not even achieve that level of fun. So Mihi up to the Castle Age, Squire's on the way from Mihi, and he is going to go double barracks Eagles. So instead of deleting his walls and going straight across the shallows or building a gate, he is instead going to run all the way around the lake, all the way around Loch Ness. The anticipation of Nessie. So here you are, we'll have Horse Collar, Bloodlines, and Castle Age all on the way for Sebastian. Did they fix the placeholder glitch? No, they did not, but it's going to be a rare one. That's a map scripting thing, though. It's because the randomness of terrains, even if you set land percent to 100, it only covers one clump. And even if you pick a crazy large number of clumps, I don't know how the algorithm works, but it doesn't necessarily select all available clumps. So you need to take your create terrain command and repeat it several times in the map script. And if they didn't do that, then that's where the placeholders come in. So farms added in from Sebastian. Italians have good gunpowder for dealing with Aztecs late game. Cannon plus Scorpion hand cannoneers. I mean that because of the pyrotechnia tech they have now. More damage and pass-through damage, more accurate. Yeah, Nessie hate the terrain. Yeah. And okay, Snipe of a Monk in the south. We have our Aztecs player going for all 6 relics. And this is something we didn't really see too much on the ladder, Aztecs on the map, but makes sense if you're going for relics. Aztecs do collect more relic gold. It is 33% more gold for their relics. And we have this lovely monk here from Mihi going to collect said relics. And we'll see if you can get all of them. 2 monks in that monastery, but the light cav are hoovering around. Mihi, maybe instead of houses in the corner, should have thought about houses as a wall, seeing those rocks. Could have walled this off and grabbed the relics. And then even thought if this is walled about walking them back to his base doing a monastery here. Alright, looks like I'm getting an ad right now. So Mihi buying food as the archers come over and try to keep the eagles away from the walls. And the light cav will maybe fight the eagles. 2 houses coming up at the front. And wheelbarrow on the way. And eagles at the front standing still. I'll go for a palisade. Monks want conversions on the eagles. But feels like Mihi has a good advantage now. 5 relics is the Aztecs. And wants conversions on light cav down here. Wants spears to come over. See, that monk won't get everything. But where's the final relic? Oh, 6 relics now. So 3 and 3 successfully. 6 relics for the Aztecs. That is a crazy gold income that Mihi will have, and he needs to be careful to balance his villager distribution properly so that he doesn't have too many on gold. He's taking all of his villas off of gold as I say that. Move him onto wood, saying, you know what? I got 900 gold. I don't need anyone on gold now. I got 6 relics as the Aztecs. So eagles will come around, push back the knights. See if a gate comes up. Nope, no gate. And Sebastian will keep hoovering around a bit. As the light cav will maybe assist the fires in breaking down the wall. Sebastian does have an overall score lead and does have water control. We have a bit of idle TC time. So 3 palisade walls up for that villager as they'll build a university. University, they have the Aztecs have their monasteries already, and with the market, it might be time for Mihi to go up. Be a lot of food to buy, but he will be able to go up. And he'll have a ton of gold to play with on his side of the map without having needed to mine any. Will going up be the right play, though? There's a bit of food, and maybe this is now the opportunity for Sebastian to run in with the knights and do damage during the imp transition, as I think that Mihi will need to get out probably 2 barracks pikemen on the way up now. Maybe even a 3rd or 4th and a 5th barracks and spam the pikemen against all those knights. It looks like a good knight charge from Sebastian, and still no water control for the Aztecs. Aztecs who themselves are not quite a particularly noteworthy water civ. There's gold shaft mining and Imperial Age all on the way. And town watch for Sebastian. Have a barracks coming up from Mihi at the front, so triple barracks. I'm still looking for the knights to be doing damage. Oh, they're in a transport. Oh, the reed was blocking the wall, so he went into a transport to go across. There he goes, there he goes. And this is what I was afraid of for Mihi, Sebastian getting a raid in during the imp transition. He was very greedy defending with only feudal age pikemen, and the knights are in. Hello, knights indeed. And hello, vills on a TC that aren't walled, and pikemen will be blocked by the vills from helping. And that's quite a few vill kills now. 12 eco kills from Sebastian and counting. More vills going down. Pikemen even garrisoning. And still 45 seconds from imp, and I think this might be a push enough to do it for Sebastian. Well, I don't know. Mihi still has all those relics, but the relics are the only thing really keeping him alive, as well as those reeds. Sebastian should send a vill and chop and palisade those reeds. Oh, villagers crossing the water. He is ready for a castle drop. He's dropping a castle. That is a lot of damage. Hello, Punbug. Does Mihi have the eco for a gallows? Well, he will have the gold with 6 relics as the Aztecs. Does he have the timing on the gallows to stop the castle here? That's not the biggest military for Sebastian, but it is some. Hills now have an opportunity to wall themselves. Bit of a counterattack, but that's only 3 eagles. A couple of knights should be able to deal with that. There is Eagle Warrior. Ooh, not even Elite Eagle. Castle Age upgrades after the Imperial Age. The knights keep running around. And knight out here, trying to find the weak eagles. Bam, gets 1 weak eagle, gets a 2nd eagle. That knight's gonna die, but he got 2 eagles. Will he get a 3rd? This will be close. And he does get a 3rd. Alright, good job, knight. And castle is up. Time for Genbos. Are Genbos great against eagles? Not really. But they do give you an extra unit to take out the pikemen. We'll have plate mail armor on the way for Mihi. And well, he's gonna have to get rid of that castle somehow. At the same time, in the north, as Sebastian comes around with some knights, he does see that monastery, and that'll be half of Mihi's relics that'll go down if the monastery is destroyed. And I think that will be destroyed. Some fires coming over. We need some demos from Sebastian. Players need to learn from Tato more. Make their demos. I guess maybe they'll need to unlearn that in the DLC when demos are nerfed, but there we are. Relics pop out of the monastery. Sebastian's knights have done their job just as Mihi's army comes over. And those knights maybe even could think about fighting. I guess they do have Imperial Age armor. And we'll leave their vills out to dry. His plan was to go imp with relics and make eagles, using the relic gold to help propel the eagle economy. But he did it without without anticipating Sebastian would be that far forward. He had hoped his walls would have kept him safer. That transport ship after the Reed certainly changed things, and now the forward stone mined by Sebastian will undoubtedly lead to another castle. He wants his own castle, maybe wants Trebs. But the knight's cleaning up the pikemen up here. They can go kill that vill and destroy the monastery now. Monk on his way out. He'll be picking up the relic. Sebastian will need to pay attention to that monk. Also go for the repair vill, but does get one conversion in. And the monastery will have to be attacked again. Classic Italian night rush. I mean, against the Italians, sometimes you're expecting the faster imp. Destroying enough of that monastery to knock the relics out will be great. Would be great for Sebastian, but he's afraid of all the eagles now. But there is the second castle. Some generals waltz their way forward and might die to the TC. Have to get back to the safety of that castle soon. He faces him versus Winchester. Eagles now fighting vills in the gold. Oh, the vills going down. Okay, that's a lot of dead vills from Eagle raids. And what is this? 58 to 61. Vill count. Sebastian not defending himself all that well. And Mihi, in desperation, adding in forward barracks. Adding in forward barracks to spam Eagles onto Sebastian's economy. Knights run over, we'll get by the TC. But not much more damage for them under the TC is just idle time. Mihi, though, can ill afford idle time at this point. He's gotten a Treb, and I mean, if he trebs down the castles, the Vill count's close enough that he's probably okay. He's actually ahead in resources collected. Lost the monastery, though, and that's a big deal. Sebastian's able to steal those relics. Relics extra important in the Aztecs game. Treb going for the castle. Going to treb it down. And some walls coming up from Mihi. Herbal medicine for healing the knights. Petards. Petards to take out the walls guarding the trebs, then. Let's not convince Italians. That great. Well, we'll see what Sebastian can do. He has full water control. And should be able to grab 3 relics. This isn't sudden disaster? Think the plan... Well, never mind. I was gonna say the plan would be to petard the gate, so the knights could get to the trebs, but it looks like the knights had different ideas and are raiding in the north. Now Sebastian's opened up a Vill lead. He is booming behind this. Still Castle Age, but booming now. Getting the Vills produced. And there we go. Gate does go down, and the knights swarm the trebs. The knights swarm the trebs. Trebs all go down. Or do they? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Happy top 5. And Koreans have looked really strong on this map from what I've seen, but then then again, they've looked strong on every map.
Impero.
Batne.
Comance.
Okay, Jimbo's fighting eagles. More knights come over.
Comance. Bante.
Knights slaughtering vills under the TC now. And this is looking more and more over for Mihi. It looks like Sebastian's going to go up 2-1. Not true, Red Bull Wololo without Korean Mirror. It's not, it's not. Armenians. We have warrior priests for picking up relics. Could be pretty good.
Walk. Bante. Walk.
So Treb going for the castle. And Dromans. Yeah, I guess Dromans are nice. I feel that cannon galleons still matter more on this map for taking out more area inland, but maybe if you control the coast, you win anyway. Mihi now, there's no chance for him. He's down by 48 or 38 vills, 39 vills. Yeah, there's the GG, and Sebastian will do it go up 2-1. And we'll check out the stats. That game was over for a while, but 131 kills for Sebastian. That transport ship to get the knights in somehow caught Mihi completely off guard. His attempt to go imp was way too early, even when he had 6 relics. GG, well horseyed. What was my track? I don't have a track. I don't really listen to music that much. That's Sebastian up 2-1. And I can check stuff off now. Dorothea Quarry for Mihi. But then Vulpine and Loch Ness for Sebastian. So Dorothea Quarry was Romans over Portuguese. Loss for the Aztecs to the Italians. And what was that Vulpine game? That was Inca over what Civ? What Civ was Mihi on Vulpine? Oh, Armenians. There. What do you mean they had the wrong draft? Oh, can I not use their final 2 civs? Isn't that for best of 7? I have no idea. Is this another handbook issue? Did they have the drafts right? Man, I don't know. I assume I assume they could pick extra civs, but you are right now. 8 civs for a best of 5 does feel a bit excessive. They use the best of 7 draft. Do they know this is a best of 5? This is a best of 5, right? I'm not wrong about that, am I? The dashboard says best of 5. Wikipedia says best of 5. And what are all these ads I'm getting on Wikipedia today? So winner faces Sato and then Viper. They move on. This is the Sato Viper bracket. He's right map draft, wrong civ draft. Okay. So Glacis here will have Mihi to the west as the Red Dravidians and Sebastian to the east as the Blue Ethiopians. And do we have demos for both these civs? We do, right? Yep. Dravidians, good navy. Ethiopians, no heavy demo, but at least we have feudal and castle demos, so we might see some demos. Immediate dock from Mihi, who needs to win this to stay alive and force a game number 5. Scout from Sebastian will be running around, and Man-at-Arms, the upgrade on the way for him. So a Man-at-Arms opening on this map, okay. I had seen this swap more into some water gameplay, but I guess that's mostly with Koreans for turtles. Other civs, aside from trying to go for demo snipes, have not been quite as water heavy. Mihi, though, as the Dravidians, thinking let's play a water game, and we'll be doing the forward dock. So Wolf chasing after the Men-at-Arms as the Vil tries to wall them out. Doesn't succeed though. That is a deadly Wolf. Where is the demo, Mihi? Where is the demo to defend against the Men-at-Arms? Not gonna have the tower up in time. And does lose a Vil. Pokes down the Scout though. That Wolf doing what it can to force a game 5, trying to help out Mihi. And Men-at-Arms able to hit the Scouts. And what's going on? We do have a demo being trained for Mihi. I'll probably be in the forward dock. Demo's popping out. Gaia can be an opponent, a dangerous one at that too. And archers coming forward. Oh, demo. Did that hit anything? I don't think that hit anything. I don't see any corpses there. Anyway, scouts are here. Spears want to fend them off, and they will do so for now. I see a demo there from Mihi. Imagine getting 4 Vils on that dock. But not on the cards for him, as the archers for Sebastian do get in. Now, Mihi could wall this off, and actually could wall off to the edge of the map. So, a lot of walling, but he will, at least over here, be safe if that house and one more bit of wall goes up. There he goes. Needs some more HP, but is probably fine to defend against 3 feudal archers. And the demo takes 1 spear. Only 1 spear. That's a waste of a demo. And the spears are free now to poke at that Vil and any fires that pop out. Remember, spears, thanks to the old camel shenanigans, do have +9 against ships. So having a couple spears against fire galleys actually does help you out quite a bit. Some repairs on the fire galley as the spear gets a poke in and the archer comes in to shoot. And another fire galley goes to fire down the dock. This fire will go down. We have gold mining on the way for Sebastian. So a couple of houses going up around for Mihi. Castle Age on the way for Mihi. Castle Age on the way. Remember, his Vils do carry more on the shorefish. So if they start walking longer distances, then that matters. But there are so many shorefish here. Don't know how much the carry capacity actually matters versus, say, Romans who would simply collect from them faster. So padded archer armor and Castle Age versus almost Castle Age, but not quite there. Almost, but not quite for the Ethiopians. This dock will be fired down. And scale barding armor on the way for Sebastian. Dock going down. Fire goes down. And just as Mihai's up, he loses his forward dock, but we'll go for a TC in the middle. We saw in game 1, Mihi won by booming. Maybe he can try to replicate that here and out-boom Sebastian. Yeah, the Viper bracket. At least thanks for Tato if he has to end up playing Yo. Yep, I said this before, but I think that was a very poor way to handle the situation. And I absolutely do not like how that played out. So Skirm's going down and Sebastian up to the Castle Age. Finally, we will have another dock down here for Sebastian. TC will go up to the south between the wood and the gold. Sebastian might want to take the foxes. But actually, 2 more TCs. So 3 TC boom, 2 in the middle. And Mihi will add in his 3rd TC now, but in the back on 3 wood lines. So Monk goes for a conversion on the Knight. Knight runs away. Monk will pick up a relic. He just played worse? Well, he didn't play worse. That's like saying Tato could have played worse and then gotten a better matchup. Yeah, the admin Cabal. Oh, 21 HP on the house. That's not going to stay up for Mihi. Ooh, that is rough for Mihi. Not finishing the wall. Needed to commit a bit more HP to that. And the Knights get in. Yeah, and same thing for Barrels, right? Both Tato and Barrels. It's like they earn top spot and then have to face a top player anyway in an early round. I guess their advantage is that they will be the higher seed in facing them. In facing him, but not really much of an advantage, I think. Yeah, just in a later round, right, where he would have gotten a better prize pool if he made it to that round. So there we go, Sanctity on the way for Mihi. Monk wants to chase away the Knights. Conversion needs to come in on them. And Mangonel here attacking the TC from Sebastian. Ooh, those Vills. This isn't looking good for Mihi. Mihi has had a lot of eco damage here from these raids from Sebastian and hasn't really managed to counterattack that early forward dock he did to get the demos. Forced some fires out, but didn't really get the Vil kills he wanted. That's a 10-0 eco KD for Sebastian. And it looks like Sebastian's going to advance. Looks like he's going to advance as Monk's Monk conversions on the Knights. Knight goes down. And we'll have the monastery on the way for Sebastian. And Monk wants to convert this Knight, but the Knight goes down, and we'll have Devotion. Devotion on the way for Sebastian, who keeps increasing his score lead. He is down in Vils, though. He's down in Vils. So maybe there's a chance that Mihi can make up that res difference, but that'll take a while. It's not that big of a Vil difference now. And Sebastian, when he gets his 3rd TC up, should make it up with some kills. He's still raiding and still forward. Maybe a mistake to abandon the Mangonels, though. That one Knight looking mighty scary. Yeah, he wants to keep those safe. He will go to snipe the Monk. Oh, the Monk garrisons. Okay, no quick wall in time. Oh, Ooh, okay. Right-clicking the fox. Imagine if he kills his own mangonel because he right-clicks a fox. That would be devastating. That would be absolutely devastating. So Outpost being mangonel, the knight comes over to hit the other mangonel. And goes down. Those 1 or 2 stray knights against the mangonels. Working wonders for Mihi. As he's going for a conversion, the knights decide we don't want to jump the mangonel when there's a monk there. Maybe they should have just tanked a conversion and gone for it? The monk there looks trapped and he's not able to chase anymore. So mangonels go down. Mangonel going for the TC. And tries to hit the monk over there. So husbandry on the way there for Sebastian. And the mangonel going for the outpost. Doesn't go for the outpost, goes straight for the TC. Elephant archer now from Mihi. Trying to make a comeback with elephant archers. That would be crazy if that happens, but they are very expensive. And if he's committed to elephant archers, then he's committed for a very long castle age. And mangonel attacking the TC. And Lake Cav on the way there from Sebastian. Triple stables. Triple Ethiopian stables. Late game Ethiopians with torsion engines should have options against elephant archers. So I'm not really afraid for them against the Dravidians, as good as the Dravidian skirms are. Mangonel going for the TC. Mangonel's exchanging some shots. One goes down. Played that Phosphoro style if you wanted Can you Phosphoro into elephant archers? I haven't seen that. That feels a bit expensive and not tanky enough for Phosphoro. Maybe I'm wrong about that, though. It's a big food expense to go in farms than elephant archers. Mihi selling wood. Let's go for the elephants. Hera did that. Hera did it against Yo. That's Hera. Well, here we have knights pouring in. And oh, this is an ugly bit of idle time now from Mihi, who can ill afford it at this point in the matchup. He just fired too fast, okay. Let's go for the palisade. And all the vills are all running around. Oh no, I got another silly ad. The pikemen go down to knights. And continue getting hit. Knights keep running around. Oh, wolves, wolves! Double wolves going for 2 vills, but vills will survive long enough to be killed by knights. Are the knights patrolling? Nope, the knights are just walking by. Oh, they'll get the far vill, then turn around. Make you watch your friend die first. So castle, ooh, castles in the middle. We'll have a couple of, we'll have a pair of castles that are kissing right here on their corners. Do they have murder holes? Let's see, no murder holes for Mihi. And no murder holes for Sebastian. Is there a space between these castles? How are they? Are they shooting at each other? No, they're shooting at other stuff, right? Oh, at the ram. Okay, yeah. Castles can't shoot each other here. That's the tower shooting at the castle. Alright, armored elephant there, but has to be rammed by another ram. That's the hard thing, repairing the castles when you're this close. And petard gets shot down. You need several petards at once. Is this the game plan? Tank elephants underneath the castle? Realist to run. I'm afraid if the elephant archers run. Okay, at the same time though, in the base of Mihi, Knights are still raiding, and they're not going to be walled out. They will get in again. Although monks might get a couple of conversions, the TC is there to help. And they are forced right out, and Mihi should be able to re-wall that. Well, it's only a 4 vil difference, so credits to Mihi for holding on despite all this pressure. He's down 5,000 resources, to 25.9k to 20.4k. The Knights in the Eco have been crazy with how annoying they've been. There's one just sitting there because why not? He's walled out. But he needs to do extra walls in his own base. There might even be a hole there. Okay, no, there's no hole there. I have to check the tree. Maybe we need big trees so we can see holes in walls better. Petard goes down. These players need to work on their sudden disaster builds, I guess. Ram goes down. Ville's all dying to Rams, trying to repair. Are they stacking the quarterfinals? You mean the round of 8? This round, I don't know. I assume they'd be all simultaneous, but I guess there's lots of time left to cast for today. So that watchtower, 25 HP, and the tower and the castle both go down. Repairville there for Sebastian, who's now got a 25 vil lead. Some gates to protect the monks from knights, but a petard destroys the gate. And the monks need to get some conversions. Now they will go down to the knights. And castle here from Sebastian. Squires, scale mail armor both on the way. And TC will go up here to the north for Mihi. Any in time for Doubt? We all love Doubt, don't we? The Eagles go to attack the elephants. Or, no, not Eagles. Showtail Warriors. I'm sorry, Showtail Warriors. I was confused by the new Castle Age graphics. The unit that got new Castle Age graphics instead of Imperial Age graphics. And they'll be running forward. Not much HP on them, but they pack a mighty punch. 16 plus 1 attack. In the back, oh, the Knights are still there. The Knights are even killing the pikemen. Oh my gosh, Mihi needs to learn. Pikemen, don't beat Knights in the Castle Age. And things just keep looking better and better for Sebastian. Hasn't been able to finish Mihi off yet, but he's going for the workshop. And Cho tells it doesn't take many to take down a TC. Ethiopians with 0 archers, we can get Ethiopians as an infantry civ? I've had quite a bit of siege from them. There's heavy plow on the way from Mihi. Villager on the berries. Goes down, and the ram comes to ram the archery range, and we will have chainmail armor, squires, and imp all on the way for Sebastian. Oh, Classic Pro forfeited his series against Doubt due to, oh my gosh, that is sad, unfortunately. That is very unfortunate. I feel for Classic Pro there. I know it is always a struggle for him with power outages, and especially these one weekend events where you have to play a ton of sets in a row, makes it extremely difficult for him. What happened to Harris' stream? Did Harris stop streaming? Maybe he just had to go. I don't know. Yeah, Knights counter pikes. Exactly. Foxes go down to the mangonel shots. And there's the GGGL next from Mihi, who finally calls it. And 3-0 Sebastian. Great for Mihi to get that win in game 1 where he looked pretty strong. And had plans for the other maps. Aztecs and Loch Ness were really interesting. But I think he made a couple mistakes with his attempt to go imp instead of committing to Castle Age that Sebastian took advantage of. But great set, too, between them. And there we are, 3-1 for Sebastian. GG. So let me update this. 3-1. And we'll give him that win. Anglesis. Wait, did this update? No, it didn't. Oh, wait, wrong. I'm clicking the wrong button. Now, Ethiopians with Shotel Warriors. And so what was that? Dravidians. Sebastian goes to... You had a lot of power outages here in Mexico as well, but you can get a diesel generator to take over when it happens. I don't know Classic Pro's exact situation, but it definitely is difficult for him. And we have then... is he like... Who goes to the finals from this? I'm not sure. We have Kapach Yo and Sorokuma Vivi both starting now. If other people are casting something, I'll cast something else. And see if we can just make sure everything's covered. And Dog Gao Doubt might be starting soon anyway, so maybe we want to wait for that. So we'll look at the brackets then. So spoiler alert, if you haven't been watching all day, I will show the brackets. And oh gosh, the brackets need to be above this. Hold on. And alright, there are the brackets. So should I zoom a bit? There we go. Do I need to zoom more for the stream? Can y'all see this? Let me know if I need to make it bigger. Guess I gotta make it bigger. Let's zoom. And then do some horizontal scrolling. There we are. So, Yo and Kapach. Yo did win 3-2 over Velesa. Kapach 3-2 over Kingstone. And the winner then faces Tato and then Barles. So, unfortunate draw for Kapach, Tato, Barles, who need to face a player who should have been in Barles' slot. So you probably should be sliding them all down. Put Tato here, Barles here, Yo there. I forget who is at the bottom. I think Tato's still here. But general idea that Yo... these players do still have an advantage that they're facing Yo as the higher seed. But still unfortunate that they have to face Yo in an earlier round to begin with. Especially for Tato. And down here, from what I heard, apparently Classic Pro had to give the win to Doubt. Wasn't able to play due to power outages. So Doubt will be facing off against Dog Gao. I'm assuming that's starting soon. Doubt... Honestly, Doubt has a darn good chance to qualify against Dog Gao, Lewis, and MBL. If I don't think he's the favorite there, but if there is one set of players for him to go through, he doesn't have to go through Yo, won't have to go through Viper. This might be the best chance for Doubt to qualify. Then down here, Andy Vinchester, yeah, Doubt doesn't have to go through Vinch. Not that MBL is a bad player, but I think a player that Doubt has a better chance against than Vinch. So Vivi Sorokuma, freaking Andy Vinchester. Vinch didn't quite pull it out against Hart. So he still is fighting here after that end of the ladder. Sebastian, what we just casted, he will face Sato. And the winner of that will face the Viper. And that'll be it there. You believe in Doubt. Yeah, I think that'll be the most interesting one right there. Doubt, Lewis, MBL. So let's see, are they going to play now? Are we going to get Doubt, Dog Gao? Oh, they have drafts. Oh, yes, we are. We're going to do Doubt, Dog Gao. Let's go. No way we're missing Doubt. Yeah, not to say that group isn't strong, but it didn't have a super top player, I think. This is Doubt versus Dog Gao. And is Doubt the favorite here? He is on the left of the draft. And this is, I have no idea who I would favor here. Right, let's see if playing ads will stave off it. Which add those since they're in the lobby. Give it a shot. Give it the good old college try. Love the AOM music. I do too. Sato wasn't impressed with Sebastian. So, ooh, It's talking some trash there. Let's check. Any Discord messages? Nope. There we go. Hello, Lynn. How are you doing? Oh, hello. Did you preface it with, I don't want to be that guy? Well, looks like he was that guy. But we're going to have Doubt versus Dog Gao. And I'm always hyped to see a Doubt set. Doubt is... I've been watching Doubt play AoE2 since 2012. Good old... I think the Doubt Chris Best of 21 was the first Age of Empires I ever watched. Back in the day when I had my wisdom teeth removed. I was watching a Zero Empires cast of that on his YouTube, holding some ice against the side of my face. Good old times back then. Why does this look like a French flag? Because I didn't put in a logo in the middle. Everyone always says that. It looks like a French flag. I need to... I'm going to update my overlay a bit. I need to make some more overlay changes. But I'm using an old overlay for now. Everyone always says it looks like the French flag, though. Like, yeah, I like the overall shape of it. I want to put player flags on the overlay, and get maybe the score dots that we had from Capture Age out here too. You mean you're French, so you like it? Ah, that explains it. That explains it then. Oh yeah, are you gonna be at the Red Bull this time? I think I remember you saying you were at the last one. I have tickets to it. Yes? Oh, nice. I'll see you there then. As I have tickets to it, so as long as I don't have some random schedule thing come up, I'm 99% confirmed to be there. So let's see. Failed to download match content. Can I get a thanks DE in the chat? Here we go. Now we're good. And loading into the game. We will have Doubt to the west as the Aztecs, Dog Gao to the southeast as the Vietnamese, and the map will be Crownwood. This is the round of 8. The winner goes on to face Lewis in the semifinals, and then potentially MBL in the finals if they make it there. So Crownwood, immediate walls. Aztecs and Vietnamese, I have seen tons of games on this map. Never have I seen the Aztecs before on the ladder. Completely different civ pick with the draft. I also gotta say, I love the rocks with the flowers, and I did steal that idea for what is it? For Reverse Acropolis in TTL. I did my own little take on that. I like it. Dog Gao will cause an upset here. Go Doubt. Ooh, we got chat cheering for 2 people. Hello, Lons Baskets. So Eagles wandering around here. Doubt no longer GL. No longer GL. I think Dog Gao is still Onamaru. Did he ever have that tag in his name? Dog Gao's been on a lot of teams over the years. So we have Wheelbarrow on the way for Dog Gao and Fletching on the way for Doubt. Doubt also, you can tell he's old school because he does the capital T at the end of the name. Where can you find the bracket? If you scroll beneath the stream, I have a link to Wikipedia for the bracket. Are they over Easter? I don't know. I didn't schedule them. Well, it does strike me as very odd that the finals are on a Monday, even if it is Easter instead of a Sunday. I have no idea what the viewership's going to be like. But maybe it's just the Royal Albert Hall was available on a Monday. And it was... Maybe they were just like, this place is expensive and it's booked. And they came out of nowhere saying, hey, can we have this place on Easter? And then the people looked at them and were like, why would you want this on Easter? That's a holiday. But we don't have anything else going on. No one else is that crazy. You can have it. And maybe that's how they ended up getting it on Easter Monday for the finals. But yeah, I'm sure for many people it will be inconvenient. Cheap for the couple, expensive for the guests. It's cheaper, yeah. One day we'll do a Twist event with the LAN. Someday. I enjoyed the meetup we had for cartographers. So next cartographers, I'd like to do that again, but a bit more well planned. We need to have a map, an egg-shaped map with extra hairs on it for Easter Monday. So, Castle Age padded archer armor on the way for Dao. Aztecs will be up first. What scares me about the Aztecs in this matchup against the Vietnamese would be Fire Lancers countering Eagles, but I have seen Aztecs versus Koreans a couple of times where Jaguar Warriors were very effective. And we have Castle Age on the way for Dog Gao. It's Polish. I'd like to learn how to speak Polish one day. My great uncle spoke Polish. But I never learned any. So Castle Age, Gold Mining, and Horse Collar all on the way for Doubt as the skirms fend off the archers, fend off some vills. Vills go down. And hello Langzander on YouTube today. And hello Tomate. Nice to see you casting. Well, nice to see you in the chat. Hello, hello. So skirms still trying to break in. Eagles coming forward. Doubt does have arson for the Eagles. I will give them... Oh, hello Theocracy. What are you doing in the top of the screen there? But what? Theocracy, what are you doing? Okay. Well, they will break through the house with arson. That's the point. They have arson and they're trying to break through. Dog Gao's not up yet. He's still trying to get to crossbow. Doubt will have elite skirm and bodkin. With the extra range, he can keep the archers away. But Dog Gao got a lot of HP on that house. That might just buy him some time. But now he won't be able to keep walling since the skirms are upgraded. And Eagles still want to break through. And we'll have scale barding armor on the way. Doubt at home, still on 1 TC, and still on 1 barracks only. Might want to go monks and start collecting relics if he's not looking to boom. Did sell the stone, so he's trying to be aggressive. Looking for a forward workshop, but still not finding a Vil from him. This is full on Eagle and Skirm. And is there a hole somewhere? Doesn't look like it. A bit awkward on the hill, but he won't get in, and that workshop will go up. Instead, he will try to destroy the range. Might go down, but he should get. But Dog Gao should get crossbow in time. And skirms will fend off the Vils. Low HP Vils. And Vils go down. A few skirms attacking the crossbows. And 99% complete is the workshop. There goes. And Eagle Warrior on the way from Doubt, upgrading the Eagles, and still on 1 TC at home. There's that monastery for relics, as the hares are hopping by. And a bit T90-esque with the spacing on those farms. Feels like the mill's in a weird spot. But the range goes down. Eagle has to run away from the TC. It's fine, says our base. Wait, does the map put the mill off-grid? Or is that... No, they're... Okay, I'm curious about the mill now. Yeah, this mill looks fine. That mill's fine. that looks weird. Hold on. Wait, we're gonna have a fight here. I'm curious about that mill. Once we get a chance, I'm gonna look at the mill. So the Mangonel comes forward. It needs to get a good hit on the skirms. Armor comes in for Doubt's skirms so we can fight the crossbows better. And while Dog Gao still is on only 1 TC, he has committed to double stables. Doubt himself has not scattered the stables, Dog Gao's done a good job of hiding that, and Doubt will not be aware of the knights coming forward. As the Aztecs, he doesn't have any monks here to convert knights. And this, with only skirms and no crossbows, could be a very awkward fight for him, as the mangonel shot gets a bit of HP off of a skirm. Dog Gao not committing with the knights, but he is chasing with the mangonel.
Walk.
Eagles here, getting their armor, could turn to fight the mangonel. Doubt trying to get more army forward, but Dog Gao continues pumping out knights. The farther away Doubt runs, the longer it'll take for the crossbows to get into the fight, and he'll try to take the fight without the mangonel. Is it weird in DE2 or just in Capture Age? We'll check. We'll check. But Dog Gao right now hunting down the skirms, and Doubt cannot pick a small cluster of trees in the woodlines to hide in. If he had crossbows, he might think about going there against the knights, but that won't work against the mangonel. Especially not with skirms with the minimum range, but the mangonel goes down. Dog Gao not guarding the mangonel against the eagles. And tricky for him to keep the army together. At the same time, Doubt starting to get in and raid with an eagle, but Dog Gao will hold that off. And Doubt behind this has added a second and now is adding a third TC, looking to pull ahead in Eco, already up by 5 Vils. Doesn't have wheelbarrow though. Doubt's macro is so good, he's locked in. This is what I said. I feel like Doubt had the luckiest draw of the bracket. Not to say that Lewis and MBL are bad players, but I think they're the players that Doubt has the best chance of passing through. Maybe Tato Barles would have been a good draw for Doubt too, but those two I think certainly better than Viper and Vinch, and he did manage to avoid getting in the same bracket as Yo early on. So Knights cleaning up the skirmishers, and this is the cleanup we've been waiting for. As Dog Gao now will add in his TCs, but certainly already behind Doubt in the timing. And Doubt behind this has gotten a relic, but might struggle a bit to pick up more relics with the Knights that are out. He will grab a second, and looks like he should be able to get 2 more, so it'll be 4 relics as the Aztecs, and he'll have some great gold income. This map can go late game, and actually let me double check. I believe we still have a time limit. Yep, we still do have the same slightly over 75-minute time limit, and we'll have Devotion on the way for Dog Gao. IDK if Doubt will be great in back-to-back stressful sets. I think Doubt's going to be locked in. I think Doubt will have it. But you're right, it will be back-to-back stressful sets. And Doubt did do well on the ladder early on, but towards the end had a very stressful day where he played for 9 hours and had a losing streak. And collapsed. And I think that's one of the difficulties of the ladder. I know I've talked to a couple of different players where the mental stress of it got to them. If you manage to tilt and go on a losing streak and drop an elo, it can be pretty disheartening and hard to come back from. I think it was very impressive for MBL to maybe get accustomed to the roller coaster of the elo throughout the ladder, through all the games he played, and still be able to make a run for finishing towards the top. So 6 relics in total on the map. 6 relics in total. And Eagle trying to push through the house. And the Knights here for Dog Gao still patrolling around the back atop that hill. And in the middle, Knights fighting the Eagles. And forging on the way for Dog Gao. Trying to get upgrades for the Knights. And he is closing in Vils. He did get a couple kills in the raid. But down pretty far in res collected so far. Doubt doing Town Watch. Aztec Vietnamese late game, I still do worry about Fire Lancers. I also do somewhat worry about elephants from the Vietnamese. Elephants and their ability to outnumber Aztec monks. Aztecs don't have halbs, so pikeman monk, their best option. Well, but late imp, when the population increases, it's harder to use monks. And oh, look at this, Doubt finding the castle just as Dog Gao's trying to construct it, and that's going to be a nice raid and quite a few dead Vils. Dog Gao will leave the castle foundation there. Doubt will continue raiding under the TC, though. Dog Gao has to bring his knights over. And now Doubt might need to run away. But the knights get in. And if not a castle denial, at the very least, some good eco idle time on those villagers. And the knights will come forward, fight the eagles there, and here come the fire lancers. At the very least, fire lancers do not have an attack bonus against shock infantry, which the eagles are, but they are all in all a much better unit. They have, with the Vietnamese, 78 HP and 9 attack. Against the eagles, they're 7 plus 1 attack and 55 HP. So the eagles will not want to take that fight. Jaguar warriors can do well against fire lancers. I've seen that a couple of times. But would struggle against the heavy cav play, and particularly an elephant transition from the Vietnamese. So we'll have both players. Looks like they're maybe getting back for a moment. And you need to find a moment to look at that mill. I haven't forgotten about the mill. How do Lancers do against Jags? Since Lancers are infantry, Jaguar warriors will have their attack bonus against them. So they don't want to get into a melee fight. Alright, well, I'm looking at this mill. Okay. I gotta turn the grid on. Okay. Settings, graphics. Where's the grid? Grid. Okay. Yeah, the mill is off-centered. Is this a weird placement thing? This has to have been placed in the map script. You can't place this by yourself. This has to have been a map script thing where the mill gets there on the berries off-centered. That's weird, because this farm looks like it's adjacent to the mill, but the mill, like, this farm clearly isn't. What the heck is that? Off-grid building placement. Alright. So, Eagle's trying to push through over here. And I prefer casting with the grid off. There we are. As Eagles run around, Knights come to chase the Eagles, and as you do against Eagles, stone walls thrown up for Dog Gao, as the house will come up. And Dog Gao thinking, let's do a gate, and Doubt, don't lose all your Eagles, don't get trapped here. He will attempt to patrol stack into the fight. And that was an effective patrol stack. The Knights coming forward to fight. Fire Lancers fighting too. Does Dog Gao have the numbers? No, but Doubt will run away, and Doubt will go into champions. Remember, the Aztec production bonus is that they do produce units, what is it now? 15% faster. So, very good champions, fully upgraded champions with the Gambesons. And now with 4 Aztec relics, should have good eco for champions even if the gold does start to run out on the map. It's not an off-centered mill, rather completely centered mill on a 3x3 grid. Yeah, the terminology is maybe a bit weird, but in map scripting we refer to stuff that's off-centered as stuff that's positioned like that. It's a weird thing. Random fact, I think the only place in AOK or AOC in the campaigns where you can see an off-centered building is Saladin 6, the Lion and the Demon. Some of the towers around the base occupy, they're in the middle of 4 tiles instead of occupying 1 tile. I noticed that because when I made the Saladin Showdown scenario, the AI pathfinding bugged out when it was on those tiles occupied by the off-grid towers. And the position of the units registered is 0-0 instead of the actual tile. Anyway, so longswords against fire lancers. Longswords do well here. We saw that great game in the qualifiers, the Koreans mirror on Vulpine, where Doubt made that champion switch late in the Koreans game against Yo to deal with the fires. Or to deal with the fire lancers. Fire lancers are shock infantry, so longswordsmen in a melee should kill them. However, these are Vietnamese fire lancers that have extra hit points, and you need a lot of longswords to win the fight. And Doubt right now might not have the numbers. Okay, it's a longswords. More attack against them. They do have +6 bonus attack, but maybe just not having the HP. These things do have 18 more HP. Okay, longswords, welcome to fire lancers. Now, two-handed swordsmen, though. These things get up to +8 before that one died. There we are. Plus, that's behind the webcam. I can finally show it off. +8. There we are. +8. Meanwhile, at the front, here comes the push. Longswords plus eagles. Rattan archers added in to deal with the longswords. Dog Gao has to micro like crazy, though, to keep the rattan archers alive and away from the eagles. Plate mail armor on the way. Doubt, does he have Elite Eagle? Doesn't have Elite Eagle yet. Fire Lancers are way too good. And this is with Siege Towers banned. Remember, Siege Towers still are banned. But more two-handed swordsmen come forward. And these things, Doubt 0 on gold, but 4 Aztec relics. So champion on the way now for Doubt. Skirms kill the monk. And Skirms go to fight the Rattan archers. How do Lancers do against hand cannoneers? They don't really want to fight hand cannoneers. They do die to them if you can't close the distance with a siege tower. But the rest of the Vietnamese composition does well against hand cannoneers usually. Aztecs don't even have hand cannoneers, so it's not in this matchup. But we saw enough Korean mirrors where the Koreans didn't add hand cannoneers. Combination of towers plus cheap skirms plus good siege that deals with the hand cannoneers there. Are Fire Lancers nerfed in TTL? No, but siege towers are. Oh my gosh, look at that guy. He's trapped. He's trapped in the forest by the barracks. Doesn't know where to go. And what's that for? Doubt? Well, if there's one way Doubt, who feels like he's in a good position now, can throw the game, it's with a poorly placed forward castle that gets denied. And how many vills does he have? He has 17 vills. He's sending an entire village to raise that castle, wants to take Dog Gao off of the stone. Just go back through the door. Well, the door only leads there. You can go back through the door. Where's he going to go, our base? Yeah, Doubt losing some trebs, though. Champions here to defend the forward castle, but they're not in position to defend the trebs. Maybe a situation where Doubt needed to wall in the trebs, knowing that he was going to move his vills away for the castle. That castle goes up, and vills on the way from the TC. As a mining camp will come up from Doubt. Just go back to bed. You can't re-garrison once you pop out our base. Rattans are horrible before Elite. And, well, what do we not have? Elite. And I think this is Doubt's game now. He gets the forward castle he wants. His trebs are in good position aside from the fact they're going to be destroyed by the Fire Lancers because the champion's still not quite there. Well, one treb will still survive. And the TC will go down. Extra castle from Dog Gao. Doubt dropping another castle. 10 vills over here, and the champions will go to attack the TC. That goes up, and Treb goes for this TC. Dog Gao will be down to 1 TC very shortly, unless he's able to add more. But things falling apart for him. His population's dropping. Doubt still with a good queue of champions and even a few more vills. Bracer on the way to help his castles. Where are the Jaguar warriors? Doesn't need him. Doesn't need him. That went for the easier to produce unit. I remember watching a lot of Celt Aztec 1v1s on Black Forest years ago, where the Aztec player usually had the advantage, but they'd boom into champions rather than Jaguar warriors. Easier to produce them. A bit cheaper too. Is El Dorado in? So Doubt is the Aztecs. He doesn't have El Dorado. He has Garland Wars. And no, that's not in. Doubt would have +4 for infantry. All infantry. The Maya are the Civ with El Dorado. That is only for their Eagles. Extra HP. Things were different back then. Garland Wars, yep. Not in yet, although I'm sure Doubt would love to get it. Champions here, they need maybe some rams. And they need to destroy the trebs before the castle goes down. Aztecs and Vietnamese, 2 civs that do not have good castles. I think this castle should stand, and it will stand because Dog Gao calls the GG, and Doubt will go up 1-0 in our last chance qualifier. Aztecs, winning with the Aztecs. What a save. What year is this? 2026? And the Aztecs are winning games. I did not expect that. So that's 226 226 kills for Dog Gao, but the Aztecs with the relics, such cheap champions to pump. That was more eco, especially by the end. But he got his boom earlier on after transitioning from that forward pressure. Faster imp timing too. And well done from Doubt. Is masonry in? Neither civ has masonry. I'm sure you're asking that to troll, but neither civ has masonry. And GG. How are we Oh, we got 138 viewers on YouTube. Thank you, everyone on YouTube. YouTube stream's popping today. That's 1-0 for Doubt. I didn't see any ads during that game, I think, so maybe playing the ads worked. Let me do some more. Hopefully stave off the pre-rolls. Masonry was not in, no. I know you know there's no masonry, Bob. Don't try to fool me with your lack of knowledge. I know you know that. So that's last picked Aztecs over the very early picked Vietnamese. Well done from Doubt. Never assume no troll when lack of knowledge can... If anyone else in the chat asked about masonry, I'd be like, sure, they don't know. But Bob, after I said that both civs have weak castles... Where's my chicken castle? I did that already. I think I'm going to do it again, though, because one of the sets I wanted to cast was canceled. But I had done that on when I casted one of the TTL sets. And that's on one of the VODs. And it works if we hit the next sub goal, then we go for the tuxedo cast. Should be forever until I get to wear the tuxedo. I would be stuck at 199 subs forever then if we did it that way. We would be stuck there forever. Alright, the next map will be Dorothea Quarry. Where's the Teutonic Knight getup? We also did that too. We did that too. I think if I ever... Well, maybe what I should do for the chicken costume, if I ever go to co-cast TTL with T90, I think that'll be the next chicken cosplay set. I think that would be the most hilarious time to do the next chicken costume. I think that's my plan, because I did it, but I didn't feel satiated with it. Is Chicken Arabia in TTL? It is not. Chicken Arabia, I did that for cartographers, because I figured it might be interesting for 2v2. Not to just have Deer Push Crossbow Scout every game, and it did give us a couple of Drush or Men-at-Arm openings. But for 1v1s, I'm not really a fan of the chickens. Yeah, it is on YouTube, yes, it is on YouTube. If you search the live tab on my YouTube channel, you should be able to see it. I forget if I put it in the title, though. If I didn't, I should. Oh, and I forgot to add the RMS command I wanted to. Maybe can I do that before the game starts? We got 1 minute. Okay, streamer bot. Let's go. Commands. Triggered from YouTube. Link to the RMS guide. Let's see, Twitch, chat, send message. Now this way, whenever someone asks about map scripting, I will be able to link this properly. Alright, someone type !RMS in chat. I will do it. Does the bot respond? Yes, it does. Alright, lovely. And now time for Dorothea Quarry. So welcome into Dorothea Quarry, the map that had been removed for a while because of bugginess when the Gujaras were missing villagers, but it's back. Doubt will be in the blue to the southwest playing as the Inca, Dog Gao to the northeast in the red playing as the Wei. And what is Doubt doing? He is immediately going for Eagles. Is either player rushing a dock? No. Maybe needs a cooldown. That's okay, we tested it better. I should dress as a plumed archer? That's on the to-do list at some point. I want to do all of the unique units from AOK, AOC. At least all the ones that don't require a horse or an elephant. I did map it out. There are exactly 12 if we include the Eagle Warrior. I figured that would be a fun calendar. And then the cover of the calendar could be like a Teutonic Knight doing a stab, while on the other side a Woad Raider is doing a swing with an axe. Just well, Arbase, remember, there were only 13 civs in the original game, and not all of them had an infantry unique unit. Then 18 in AOC. I needed to count the eagle. I want to see a flaming camel cosplay. Lucky me. It was 10 degrees Fahrenheit when I was outside earlier today, so pretty cold. I want to see turtle ship. Maybe we can visit an IRL turtle ship someday. So horse collar on the way for Dog Gao as these eagles come around and we'll try to break through the palisade wall. If I had the money, I'd get a camel and work delivery dressed as a camel archer. Now that sounds like an absolutely crazy idea. To talk in Celsius? I don't know what that is, Josh. Paint the car blue and white? I mean, my car is already blue. I need to get it fixed, though. I mean, maybe when I have it fixed, I could ask the auto body shop to give it a white stripe down it. Make it look more like a Cobra car. So, Castle Age on the way for Doubt. So, once again, American save, trying to click up quickly. And I wonder if this is practice games from Doubt, recognizing something from American saves that he felt he'd be able to play well. So another barracks coming up from him. This would have been Dog Gao's map choice. Scouts, we'll find the Vil. We'll find the Vil and get some attack in. The Eagles will fend them off. Scouts go down. Scouts go down to the Eagles. Okay, that was a costly loss for Dog Gao. And Dog Gao spent a lot of time walling. Double ranges for the way, so Doubt is well aware of the Shinbei Raiders. But if you get Eagles with fabric shields, plus they get to 10 pierce armor, that feels like you're reducing significantly the effectiveness of the Shinbei Raiders. Bad thing for the Inca on this map, though, will be that they do not have access to any cannon galleon-like ship. No Dromans, no replacement like they'll get in the DLC. It's just water control for them. They do have a pretty decent late-game navy, just missing heavy demo, fully upgraded fast fires with shipwright, which is what you want to control water. So Castle Age horse collar on the way. Add infantry? I think that's it. If you can count Jaguar warriors from the Aztecs. I also counted infantry or archer, so foot soldiers. So the Chuko Nu, the longbow, the plumed archer. I also counted the eagle. The throwing axemen. Yeah, from the Franks. So eagles come forward. Generally, don't think I saw a single game on this map on the ladder. That's because it was removed. It was removed because it was broken. We casted that game when Hera was missing 12 villagers. So Dog Gao doing what he can to wall up, but Doubt applying a ton of pressure with the Eagles. Dog Gao still not up to the Castle Age. He is going to go for range Shinbei Raiders here, seeing how heavy Doubt's Eagle pressure is being applied. I wonder if there's ever a point where Doubt would think to add TCs like he did last game, but nope, he's going for a workshop. Doubt cannot get in just yet, but now the Eagles are on the hill, and again, arson for the Eagles. I wonder if maybe Doubt could have gone attack instead of armor for breaking through the walls a bit better, but not gonna be the case as Shinbei Raiders come over. Shinbei Raiders on their way, killing some Eagles here, and Doubt will need the siege. Yeah, Doubt not able to get in. All the walls for Dog Gao paying off. And now the Shinbei Raiders, with their mobility, should be able to stop Eagles on both sides. And this is why I was thinking, maybe Doubt could swap to a boom with all of the map control he has. Try to keep Dog Gao penned in a bit as he gets TCs going. That'll be... Oop, sorry, hit the wrong hotkey and swapped my scene there. The Mangonels on the way for Doubt. Shinbei Raiders pushing the Eagles back. They're getting in on the Eagles. Eagles pushing forward. And pushing the Shinbei Raiders back. And Shinbei Raiders taking the fight in melee distance. Well, that's a Mangonel shot. Doesn't hit. Doesn't hit. Couple of Mangonels now for Doubt. And Doubt will have the hill on this map. Remember, he has the hill. And how is Dog Gao's micro? How is Doubt's micro? That was a good Mangonel hit. And now those palisades going down. Is there a hole between the ranges? If Doubt gets a third Mangonel out, I think Dog Gao could be losing a lot. He needs to be very careful with his micro. Doubt with both armors on the Eagles, with Eagle Warrior 2 with Squires. Mangonel's keeping the Shinbei Raiders at bay. Doubt has a Repairville forward, and a Huiguang Cav. So does that mean Doubt needs to start doing monasteries and monks now? Maybe he has enough Eagles to deal with Huiguang Cav for the moment. I'm sure that the Huiguang Cav win in a 1v1. But maybe Doubt, if he has good micro with the hills, is he pushes in with a ram. So ram is a risk. Instead of an extra Mangonel, he goes for the ram. And this all comes down to, can Dog Gao destroy the Mangonels? Can the Mangonels get good shots? Dog Gao is microing. Doubt is slightly downhill on the Mangonels. And he's going to lose 3 Mangonels. Doesn't get a final shot off. And those 3 Huiguang Cav were so valuable for Dog Gao. And this is where Doubt maybe faces the downside of not having added in the TCs behind this, because Dog Gao has a 10 villager lead and all of the Eagles will go down. So far so good for Dog Gao as he cleans everything from Doubt in one big engagement. No monks for Doubt, and no more Mangonels either. I think that ram should have been an extra Mangonel. And some of those houses probably needed to be forward monasteries, or at least a forward monastery. You get 2 or 3 Aztec monks, convert the Huiguang Cav, and maybe the Mangonels are still alive. Maybe he needed a second forward Ville too, just to facilitate all that, but now things are looking quite grim for Doubt. But to be fair, the Wei are an incredibly good civ on this game mode. Vinchester played them all the time on the ladder. Wasn't picking Koreans, was picking Wei. And they might just be the way for Dog Gao to come back and tie it up. Yeah, and 0 docks this game too, 0 docks. Interesting to see that. I wonder if, I was talking about the TCs, maybe there was a way for Doubt to have added a dock and some fishing ships early on instead of another TC. Is that cheaper? Because the TCs, the dock's cheaper than the TC. He sold his stone already. And he could have 2 or 3 fishing ships that not only do they take the fish, but then they go to gold. And he wouldn't have needed all of the farms anyway if he had some fishing ships, could have redistributed the wood a bit. I don't know, that would have been an interesting way to play it. But Eagles, the Eagles are still downhill in these fights. And is this necessarily a losing fight for Doubt, or does he just need to have better micro to run uphill? Because now the Eagles, downhill the entire time, are getting absolutely slaughtered. The Shinbei Raiders haven't even had ballistics yet. It's a 49 to 21 KD. And Dog Gao up to 32. 32 of these dangerous Cav Archer units. The unit that feels like it should probably be a unique unit at the castle itself instead of an archery range unit. And, oh, nice Mangonel shot. Your Mangonel shots land against these units. They don't have much HP, but that's a big if with Dog Gao's micro. And with Doubt's micro. I was told the A makes more of an N sound, and it's more Shinbei Raiders, or Riders, were they? Raiders. That's what I was told early on by my chat, and I hope that they're accurate. That might, of course, be wrong. And Doubt will call the GG. Everything of his got cleaned up, and he calls the GG. As those Shinbei Raiders come forward. And here we are. Always listen to chat, never listen to chat. Correct. Well, Doubt, he had a strategy, and you can see when it didn't work out. Dog Gao had a plan against it. Probably recognized Doubt wanted to do FC into Eagles. was confident in the way winning long-term in that Civ matchup. Added in the walls and maintained the walls long enough to get a good mass of the Shinbei Raiders, the unique Cav Archer from the range, and with that, managed to win the game. So congrats there to Dog Gao, tying it up. And what will game 3 be? Game 3 will be a Rampart. And we look here, that ties it 1-1. Looking at the drafts, that is Dorothea Quarry, a win for Dog Gao. And for the Civs, that was a loss for the Inca and a win for the Wei, but at the very least, Doubt with better Civs remaining, and also in terms of Civ matchups, did avoid the American Civs against the Byzantines, where the Cataphracts would come into play, or against the Bulgarians, where early men-at-arms could be useful. So Doubt with Mongols, Jurchens, Magyars, and Huns remaining. Dog Gao with Portuguese, Byzantines, Bengalis, and Bulgarians. Remember, Jurchens are a Fire Lancer Civ, and Mongols are Mongols. Mongols are scary. So Rampart will be next. What Civs do we think they take on Rampart? Probably Mongols for Doubt. I've seen Mongols played on this map quite a bit. And I'm not sure for Dog Gao. Don't think you want to go organ guns against Mongols here, so maybe it's Bengalis? Interesting that Doubt would choose Dog Gao's home map here, but he might just like the Civ matchup of the Mongols. Henchold's still there, and Vulpine for Doubt. What did Yo do that got him penalized? He streamed without a stream delay during the last 2 days. So, as I said, personally, I do not agree with the penalty there. But I'm not an admin of this. Alright, and we can't see the Civs. It is indeed going to be Bengalis against Mongols. It is indeed Bengalis against Mongols. So, how do Mangudai do against Rathas? Rathas will have much more HP. Both of them are wood and gold units. Should have been worse or more lenient? I think it should. Honestly, I don't think the rule should exist to begin with. I don't think that a 2-minute stream delay does... You know, the spectator delay does much to prevent cheating at all. And at the very least, there historically through AoE 2, there's never ever been any type of severe penalty for that until Nilly started basically kicking people out of tournaments for it. So I think twofold. One, if you're going to do anything, it should just be a prize pool reduction. And two, the penalty itself affecting the bracket is now bad for Tato and Barrels and everyone who has to face Yo in an early round, because losing to Yo early on prevents you from getting later on in the tournament, or at least prevents what would have been a fair matchup for you early on when Yo proved himself to be one of the top players. So I don't think that an ELO reduction at the very end of the ladder was an appropriate way to handle it at all. But Mangudai will clean Rathas. Well, important to remember that in this matchup, Rathas do not count as siege. Did I fail to download match content? Okay, they're still loading in. We got 15 seconds. Really just loves ordering too much cheese. Too German. And here we go. So we have Dog Gao as the red Bengalis against Doubt as the blue Mongols. And look at the way this map spawned. All the extra golds on the right side are in this corner next to Doubt, whereas the other side spawned more normally. I guess only putting the stones over here near Dog Gao. The spawns on this map can be super strange. And usually if you move Dog Gao slightly to the top right, just rotate them ever so slightly, and you'd only have res in the corners, whereas you move Doubt slightly, rotate them both ever so slightly counterclockwise, and you'd basically have the repetition of this left side over on the right side too, maybe with the stone spread out more. So still a bit awkward even after all the games that have been played on it. So Doubt will be Mongols. He will look to hunt the chickens as well as he can. He's selling stone already. He's looking to go up. He's lured in the boars. Yeah, this map does start you with boars, and that's why the Mongols have been strong on it. They can use their hunt bonus. Yeah, this is day 1, but there are only 2 days, so the qualifier ends tomorrow. It will be the essentially semifinals and finals all day tomorrow. This is the round of 8 right now. Winner goes on to face Lewis, and beyond that round in the bracket will be MBL. So there we have it. Doubt up the castle age. Look at that. 2 minutes in and he's already clicking up as the Mongols. Mongols OP with their hunt bonus. And we'll see if he goes over to stone to do Mangadai, or if he stays on gold to go Step Lancers. And there's the forward stable. You'd probably want that for either build order because you want bloodlines and husbandry. And Dog Gao up right behind him, but not up as quickly. And he is moving over to stone, so he indeed will be going for Rathas. And he did not sell his stone on the way up. So Step Lancer versus Ratha looks like the play here. Maybe it's effective at preventing random viewers. I don't think that that's going to be all that helpful for very top players. And I think that the better way to deal with that anyway would be, at the very least, you enforce that players who don't stream without a delay have to not look at their chat or not look at their alerts. And if something happens there, then you can deal specifically with that situation. But I think that as a tournament host, I really don't want players to have restrictions on interacting with their chats during the latter games in between games. And I'd rather try to maximize viewership for the tournament and be careful with players interacting during games without putting the restriction on also interacting between games, which the 2-minute delay does provide too. It also makes it harder for, even in set maps that are not on the ladder, admins to check the maps, and the 2-minute delay kind of delays admins being able to call admin rees. Because by the time they wait 2 minutes and load in and check the map, it's usually too late to call an admin re. But anyway, here we have Dog Gao doing a castle on the gold. And a couple of houses going up too. If only we had an admin patch. If only we had many things, our base. So castle going up on the gold in the woodline by the back, but that castle's in the back. Dao already forward with the Step Lancers picking off Vills. Even with the scouts, gets 5 Vill kills in the initial rush with Step Lancers. Now, I know that Phosphoro has showed us that Rathas do not require villagers. But Doubt now, he's pumping out Step Lancers. He got 8 Step Lancers, Mongol Step Lancers with extra HP, 92 HP for them. And they're willing to be quite a few Rathas to fight this. 92 HP, so you're looking at the Rathas with 100 HP themselves, and you're getting very close to that number. 20 fills is enough. Well, he's got 36. He actually has a Vill lead. How the heck does he have a Vill... Wait, how the heck does he have a Vill lead? Doubt he only idled the TC for 2 seconds. And Doubt's 5-0 in Eco KD. There's no wheelbarrow going on. That's not making sense to me. Oh, extra Vills, Bengalis. Okay, extra Vills for Bengalis. Gotcha. So Doubt makes up for the extra Vills so far. There we go. So 100 HP to 92. Doubt needs to keep running away. The Step Lancers, if they can engage in a melee, will be the stronger unit. And right now, no husbandry yet for Dog Gao. Husbandry not in for Doubt yet. Honestly, I think if Doubt can prioritize husbandry and then have Step Lancers able to fight the Rathas, he's probably in a decent spot. And Dog Gao committing so heavily to the castle, the Rathas, and now ballistics. Maybe Doubt's plan should just be add in a second TC, get it somewhere on the outside, nicely positioned between a gold and a woodline, and just keep pumping the Step Lancers. Tons of chickens also around the hill make for great hunting for the Mongols. And so far, this castle protects one gold mine.
Hi.
That won't last forever. Dog Gao, heavy on the stone, might go for another castle. And it's important for Doubt to maintain enough Step Lancers that he can fight the Rathas and make sure that Dog Gao cannot go for a forward castle. That's the last thing Doubt wants, Dog Gao rushing vills forward with Rathas to put a castle somewhere on the front of his base. So is Voobleed able to make an admin patch?
Hey.
That would have been all scripter adjusting the spectating, though. That wouldn't have been entirely Voobly. There are definitely people who wanted to do something like that. And back before DE, for sure. And hello, Jimmy. At least 3 Rathas to kill 10 Step Lancers? I would think so. So Dog Gao's microing the Rathas in the back. Dao not going to find those vills out on the chicken, though. This is a situation, if you really pay attention in the Fog of War, you can see the dead chicken. And go for the vills. Here, Dog Gao has to run off the berries. Dao will maybe settle for attacking the market. Bear chasing him in the Fog of War. And second TC for Dao, as I said, between gold and a wood line. Kind of towards the front, too. And he's trying to keep the Step Lancer numbers up. 11 to 10, though. Husbandry on the way for Dog Gao. This is what I said. Doubt needs some upgrades. If he wants to fight that, he's going to need the next armor. But he has monks now. How do monks deal with Rathas? Usually not all that well, because the Cav Archer nature of the unit means they snipe off the monks. But if they force the Rathas back and let the Steppies take a better fight, that's great. Another Vill goes down. Doubt with a 3-Vill lead, and with that monk still, it will force the Rathas to target the monk rather than the Step Lancers. Both of these units so tanky now with all that HP they have. Rathas with a bit more pierce armor without needing to invest into the armor upgrades themselves. And more Vills going down. Doubt now, up by 5 Vills with a second TC. And just needs to make sure he doesn't take a horrible fight against Rathas and lose all the Step Lancers. So with 2 TCs, I'm still feeling his next priority should be get the upgrades for the Step Lancers. And more Rathas going down. Rathas going down. And the Step Lancers maybe need to run away, run back to the safety of the monks for a moment. As the monk gets sniped off again. Doubt needs to up the production again. Floating wood need that 3rd TC in farms. Yeah, that's true. Need more farms, even if it's farms around this one. Or just market and use the market a bit. What is that? That is the most Doubt stone wall I have ever seen. That is beautiful. Is he castle blocking or just being Doubt? I don't know. Just Doubt things. But now we're getting to the point where 13 Rathas, 6 Step Lancers, numbers starting to fall down for Doubt. Those monks need to get a conversion at some point. They constantly have those arrows there. Is that Step Lancer trying to get a conversion? If the numbers are there for Dog Gao, Doubt, maybe he needs farms around the TC, but then idle the TCs, just go for Step Lancers, and use the TCs simply as mills for farming space. Second castle for Dog Gao, but not going to be forward on Doubt, just will be on his own hill. And even a single conversion would be great for Doubt here, and he gets one, he gets the conversion. That's what he needed. Now there'll be a fight here, more Step Lancers on their way in. Who does Doubt win that fight? Doubt still needs armor, still needs husbandry. It's where I'd be tempted to buy food from the market and do the upgrades, but Doubt needs to pump Step Lancers. I think number is probably the most important thing for him. Mongols do get Cavalier, yes. At least he killed some Rathas there. He's back to healing by the monk. The monk wants conversions. Dog Gao will use the Rathas as cover for that castle, but behind this, Doubt is booming, getting his Vill count up. Getting ready to pump more and more Step Lancers. I wonder if the Mongols have a way of pushing that castle in the Castle Age. Because I don't think they really do. Doubt still hasn't actually scouted it. More Step Lancers or Knights. If you're the Mongols, I think the Step Lancers, because you get the HP bonus, and they're so much easier to take fights with. If you're Knights here, I mean, the other option is Camels, right? They have good Camels, and they get a better attack bonus against the Rathas. But the advantage of the Step Lancer is their +1 range, and their ability actually to take fights. Because they're a ranged unit, they'd be shooting and running away and shooting and running away and never engaging in a melee fight. And it's all about forcing the melee fight. Now, Mangonels, I don't think they're that effective against Rathas, in part because Rathas have 120 HP with Bloodlines, so it takes 4 Mangonel shots to kill them. Or 3 if secondary projectiles start hitting, but it's the Mangonels just don't do the damage to Rathas that you expect against a ranged unit. Those monks seem not really efficient. So it's not necessarily about the conversions, though. It's about forcing Dog Gao to micro the Rathas differently because he has to respect the monks. And now Doubt's turn to lose some vills as the Rathas start getting in. Doubt thinking about his own castle. Doubt. Dog Gao with the score lead. And I don't know, part of me feels that this TC was too greedy, but it's also the question of where does he make farms if he doesn't do another TC? As I already pointed out earlier, he was floating wood and lacking food at a crucial moment when he probably needed more Step Lancers, or more upgrades on the Step Lancers. Dog Gao has managed to stabilize with that castle and now get his second TC out. So if Doubt suddenly loses a bunch of vills here, that wall not protecting anything, then... Oh, where's he going to run? Is he going to run into the Rathas? If he suddenly loses a lot of vills, it's only a 6 vill lead for him now. He's going to have to do a lot of idle time. He's up by 3k res collected, but more vills will go down. Ballistics is in for Dog Gao. Doubt buying stone. Castle will be at the front of his base. Step Lancers still not enough to engage, I don't think. He has 4 relics, though, behind this. Great macro from Doubt, recognizing that he had the monks to go for relics. KD, though, insane for Dog Gao still. Ratha is not dying to the Step Lancers. This unit is crazy with how much HP it has for a Cav Archer. Yeah, he's still missing the second armor, and he does at least have Husbandry, but still missing the second armor. And Doubt. What is this? Castle. He gets the castle up. He gets the castle. He needs to garrison the vills. Doubt. Oh, Doubt. Fletching on the way for Doubt now, and he can start thinking of Mangadai. He has a camel out, too. The Doubt has 6 military to 27. That's... Ugh. Rathas are so strong. Vill goes down. More vills go down. And now Dog Gao has a vill lead, and Dog Gao's gonna get the 3rd TC. And as effective as that opening was from Doubt, I think he mismanaged the mid-game there. And he lost Step Lancers while Dog Gao was adding Rathas. And now Bodkin on the way, and he's going to swap to Mangadai with 1 castle versus Rathas from 2 castles. Dog Gao getting a 4th TC. And I think Doubt's lost this now. I think the vills are running from a TC that will be destroyed. And this is rough for Doubt. Monk's not going to convert to Mangadai, but Mangadai themselves, do they actually beat Rathas? Look at the HP difference there. Only 80 hit points for the Mangadai, 120 hit points for the Ratha, all for, what, 1 more attack that the Mangadai have. Yeah, they're faster and they shoot faster, but Rathas are crazy good. And that's now almost a 20 vill lead for Dog Gao. Oh, how the turntables. They're hoovering around. Oh, we're game lagging. Horses in my economy. Horses in Doubt's economy. TC going up for Doubt. And he's about to lose his relics. And what did I say at the start? He needed enough military to prevent Dog Gao from doing exactly this, placing a castle on his face. This will be the wheelbarrow TC. Doubt thinking let's raid, but Dog Gao's TC's up to prevent the raids. Doubt wants a TC all the way on the side. Is the wheelbarrow TC gonna go down before wheelbarrow comes in? It is. Down it goes. Doubt trying to go camels, but what are camels gonna do against a ranged unit? They're gonna die. It feels very Doubt, man. It felt like there were moments where he was very far ahead. I think what our base pointed out, the mismanagement of the eco and the floating of the wood really got to him. Particularly with selling the stone to go steppies. The other option would have been FC Mangadai, but I still don't think that Mangadai would beat Rathas all that well. If at all. I think Dog Gao's going to take the lead after this game. There is that forward castle, and he's even going to do a monastery to collect all those relics that Doubt had spent so much energy collecting himself. So castle on the way from Doubt. But 2 castle Mangudai production, that's not going to catch up to 24 Rathas. It's got 11 Mangudai. But Mangudai are the weaker unit here, aren't they? Castle up. Ville's garrison in and out. Rathos fend off the Mangudai as Mangonels come over. Yeah, this should be over. Should be over. Mangonel's not effective against Rathos. I thought Steppe Monk was a good composition, but not enough eco for the Steppes. I didn't mind the second TC, but the third TC felt like it needed to be farms in a third stable. And you have to stop Rathos from raiding you by constantly harassing Dog Gao and forcing the Rathos to stay home. Definitely a tough matchup to play against Rathos no matter what civ you are. Oh, look at those deer. They're trapped in by the wood line. They're penned in. There's a little zoo surrounding them. Saying, yeah, you're the Mongols, but you can't push us. Maybe Doubt can ask for an admin re after seeing that. But Imperial Age on the way for Dog Gao. And if not before, we'll probably see a GG called upon Imp for Dog Gao. Mangudai Reeker unit heresy? No, no heresy in. Doubt will not give this game up as long as that single piece of wall will stand. He will hold the wall. This is... I don't know what this is. That's just Doubt things. I love watching Doubt's games. So Wheelbarrow on the way from Dog Gao. Imperial Age. Oh, Doubt actually clicked Imp himself. He clicks, maybe it won't be an Imp GG. Maybe Doubt will say, you know what, I'll go Imp and I'll fight you as the Mongols. I'll go Mangudai against all your Rathas. But here comes the Armored Elephant on the... Oh, this TC. Well, if you want to watch a TC go down, here you go. Yeah, well, yeah, micro the Rathas underneath. Oh, beautiful. That's what you do. You right-click past the TC, or just alt-click to avoid attacking it. Get all your units underneath. Get them to attack at once. And goodbye TC, goodbye Vills. Ranged Rathas with ballistics will run them down. Or melee mode, whatever they do. 40 Vil lead for Dog Gao. And Doubt will see him hit Imp. Yeah, rip that TC. Rip that lumber camp. That elephant saying no lumber camp out here. Another forward castle for Dog Gao, but things looking pretty simple for him to clean up here. It would have to be one heck of a throw for him to lose this, as Doubt will lose some Mangudai. Especially once Bracer comes in for the Rathas. Chemistry also on the way for them. How do you even counter this? I don't know. And mining camp on the way there. Doubt. Can Doubt come back here? We can hope. Yeah, Doubt still no ballistics. Thumbring Bracer, but no ballistics. Needs to build a statue of himself in a university to research ballistics. And the Trebs are out for Dog Gao. Mongols maybe can snipe off Trebs, but downhill with all those Rathas, I don't think so. At least there are no repair bills for Dog Gao, but Doubt has to repair the castle, and he's losing Mangudai numbers here. Having one poor Mangonel not going to be enough. Mangudai still 80 hit points. Rathas will have their final armor on the way. And another Treb going for the castle on the side, and I think this castle will go down. There it is, and that cuts Doubt's Mangudai production in half. Elite Ratha on the way. Don't see that all that often, but here it comes. And surely Doubt calls GG when he sees that. This was not a game he wanted to lose. Did not want to lose the game with his first picked Mongols. Melee mode against the Treb. That goes down. There's a GG from Doubt. Just as Elite Ratha comes in, look at Doubt. Giving us time to admire the Elite Ratha graphics and those golden wheels they have. This is definitely one of the better Elite graphics. I give him credit for that. But a perfectly timed GG from Doubt, too. He knows how to entertain the crowd. So 135 to 76 KD. And you can tell kind of early on, once the population evened out, Doubt had that early Castle Age advantage in production, but once he loses out on that, he loses to the Rathas, which they are a better unit than the Steppe Lancer. They are. Even the Mongol Steppe Lancer. So let's see here. Win for Dog Gao. And did win his home map of Rampart, so good news for Doubt. He has both of his home maps left. For saves, it's a loss for the Mongols and a win for the Bengalis. Alright, so what I'm learning from my experiment is that playing ads shorter than 90 seconds does not seem to delay the ad timer. If I keep them at 90 seconds, it seems to do it properly, so maybe I can still keep them between the games. As I said earlier, I got my laptop on my desk and I'm looking for when ads play or not. I need a good stretch in between the games. Ugh. How does one not make a single skirm against Ratha mass? Well, he tried going Steppe Lancers, just not enough for him. Big stretcher. Hello, Garlic Witch. How you doing? So let's see. This next game. Volpine. Volpine will be game number 4. Huns Bulgarians, you think? Knock knock, who's there? Is someone trying to do the dual stream right now? You can knock on Twitch. And hello, Don Pato Pesto. To? To whom? It looks like they're still waiting in the lobby. No, to whom? I was prepared for that, Cicero the Merciful. I was prepared. I know my grammar. So after a great game on Crownwood, Doubt now struggling. Hello, Mr. Stretcher. Hello, hello. I mean, what do you think Doubt could have done in that last game? Is it add an archery range and do skirms? I felt like there were a lot of things he did right. Getting the relics, having a few monks added in. And as much as we can see the wood and say he needed more farms, the question of where do you place the farms? Yeah, Doubt does have his home maps. And other than Portuguese, probably has the civs he wants. So we load into the map, it will be Volpine, and it will be Jurchens for Doubt and Byzantines for Dog Gao. And honestly, I have no idea what Byzantines do against Fire Lancers. I've even seen them struggle against when going cataphracts because elite fire lancers are so much cheaper to get to than elite cataphract. And if Dog Gao doesn't get elite cataphract, I think he loses. I think he somehow needs to boom into elite cataphract, unless there's some super strange feudal shenanigans that goes on and he wins. The late game, I think that's it. And this map can run out of gold pretty quickly. Yeah, scrims into Fire Lancers. That's what I expect. That's 100% what I expect. Nose itches. Ah, the downside of all the dry heat in the winter. If not Koreans, then Jurchens. Well, we saw Vietnamese go Fire Lancers from Dog Gao earlier. Wasn't able to win. Byzantines, remember, they do have good champions themselves. I'm doubting he lost last game. It is so cold. It is cold for me, too. Hello, Mark, over in the YouTube chat. How you doing? And here we go. So at the start, we'll have Doubt as the blue Jurchens to the north against Dog Gao as the red Byzantines to the south. Feels like minus 20. It was 10F for me today when I was outside. The other day it was minus 1F, which I saw was minus 18C when I was outside working on my car for a good hour plus. So that was quite cold. I had to wear a warm hat and gloves there. So double backs for Dog Gao. Dying every time it goes below 0. A 0 F or C. And immediate tower for Dog Gao on the foxes. As Doubt will be hunting for those vills. Dog Gao sends his fox, or sends his scout this way towards his own foxes. And Doubt will see the tower. Doubt has played this in the past by going 2 ranges with the foxvilles and being aggressive. Haven't seen that, or not seen that here from him though. Below 0 C. That's not too cold. That's the problem with C. People think below 0 C is cold. Just because the water freezes doesn't mean it's cold. Some villas have to run from that chicken, go back to the TC. Ben was complaining it was only 14C. I'd take that weather. That sounds quite warm, actually. So spear defense from Dog Gao. Lots of spears. Cheap Byzantine spears to defend against Doubt's early scouts. Looks like Doubt did open with a stable, then led the range. So the Jurchens do have the faster attacking mounted units and Fire Lancers. They are the and Fire Lancer type of civ. And they do have Siege Engineers in the Castle Age. They do have Grenadiers. And less friendly fire damage for them. The Iron Pagoda should be a good unique unit. He gets to them. They have the Shravamshrider magic against melee attacks. Oh, score update, thank you. Thank you. Too used to the ladder without a score. So Spear comes around, Scout comes down. Doubt's early scouts are very satisfying. Oh, Dog Gao I think has been defending well at home. No Ville lost yet, res collected pretty similar. What do you mean 0C is not cold? I mean, 0F is cold. 0C is still running outside in shorts weather. We're not going to pressure the exposed. Ville's not exposed. They got a tower protecting 15 tiles away from them. What he's going to pressure, though, will be the attempt to poke that scout. Won't get it, though. 2 HP left. I thought 0C in Hamburg was cold? That wasn't that bad. So Castle Age for Doubt, Castle Age for Dog Gao, just about the same time for both of them. 14-second idle TC time for both of them. I think that is exactly the same Castle Age time. What are the odds? So we'll have a mill out here for Doubt, moving from the foxes to the berries. Might be an outlier, just for going for runs. That's shorts weather. Hello, Tambao. And Fletching, Castle Age there for Doubt. Fletching looks like he will have some elite skirms as soon as he gets up. but I imagine it is mostly Fire Lancers for him as the Jurchens. A unit that I think pretty well counters the Byzantine favored composition of skirms, pikemen, and camels. Will I be there? I will 99% confirmed. When is Jordan playing? I'm not sure. Did he win his set against Vivi? And okay, deleting a palisade so that Dog Gao can get his army in. About 25F? Yeah, that's probably a good cutoff. Then you get Lagan weather below that. And Vils hit by skirms, Vils go down. And Dowd has an escape route across that rock terrain. Also, thankfully, this map did generate properly. And Dowd is out, up to the Castle Age, running away with his skirms. And now we get to see if it is Fire Lancers from him. It is Steppe Lancers. Alright, focusing the spears, then we'll have Steppe Lancers. Okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. He is both types of Lancers, Dowd does. And Jordan lost game 5 to Vivi. Ooh. And GG's for Jordan then. It would be crazy if Vivi made it. So Elite Skirm for Dog Gao. And Steppe Lancers pop out of the stable. We'll have a monastery going up here. Double stable Steppies for Doubt. Felt maybe he didn't have enough Steppe Lancers last game, so trying to add more this game. And for a Byzantine player who's not investing into pikemen, this is where Dog Gao is probably constantly checking the scouts to see if they have any upgrades. And he sees if they don't have any upgrades, he's maybe not expecting the Steppe Lancers. Remember though, Byzantines, free town watch, free town patrol, so those houses have huge line of sight as soon as they hit Castle Age. And Dog Gao will see everything that Doubt is planning now. He'll see the Steppe Lancers. Cicero with another pun. And Vils walling themselves in on the stone out there for Dog Gao. Tough for anyone but Yo to qualify versus the top 5 to 12 from the ladder. Maybe. Like I said, I think that this set with Lewis and then MBL would be exactly where this part of the bracket would be exactly where Doubt wants to go if he wants to qualify. But it has to get past Dog Gao first. We'll need to win both of his home maps, so Scale Barding Armor on the way for Doubt. Both players going for a second TC, and Doubt will run away from the monk. I don't think Kapach is very happy. What happened with Kapach? And monk goes down. And Steppe Lancers go after the monk on the other side. The skirms all go down for Dog Gao, and Dog Gao has lost a lot to the Steppe Lancers now. Steppe Lancers, if they get on that gold, that will be a massacre. The gold is pretty close to the rock terrain. Doubt needs to scout it and go for it. Oh, he just lost 3-0 to Yo. Yeah, I don't think he is that happy then. And that's a lot of dead Vils. Steppe Lancers. Lancing. Oh, the Vils. Oh, you want a quick wall against Steppe Lancers? They'll poke you over the walls. Oh my gosh, 10 Vil lead for Doubt. 9 kills. And these Vils still need to wall themselves. They do their diagonal hit. Diagonal hit. They're not going to get a... Oh, they will get a kill over the wall. Oh, the quick wall Vil's dying. Monk wants a conversion. Will probably get one. Does get one. This has been... Oh, the monk dies, though. This has been a great raid for Doubt. He's killed 10 Vils and maybe an 11th. She is very low on hit points, and boop, 1 hit, 1 kill. Doubt is back. Steppies let's go at the same time. He is Steppe Lancing down this watchtower. Can kill the Repairville, maybe. Over the tower. Oh yeah, Steppe Lancers can lance the Repairvilles. Doubt has to micro that, though. Doubt has to micro. And Doubt will now have a second and a third TC added in. And looks like we're going to have a game 5 as Doubt is still killing vills in the back of Dog Gao's base. And I don't think the Byzantines can do much here. This would have had to have been... What, Dog Gao scouts this and goes camels? In which case, Doubt just adds fire lancers, and then what does Dog Gao do? Yeah, they're under the tower. Under the tower. Yeah, I'll have to micro your step lancers to make sure they're under the tower. If you just right-click, they stay outside of the murder holes range. But here come more step lancers, and this tower looks like it'll go down. Yeah, like this. They attack from over the wall. And Dog Gao thinking he needs to run the vills, but where are you running to? You're running to the step lancers. And that's now a 20-vill lead with 18, 19, and 20 kills. And oh, look, is that a TC that Doubt can deny? That it is. As Doubt will build a 4th TC as the Jurchens. And wait a minute. Wait just a minute now. Now I'm thinking of something. The Jurchens. Meat of hunted and livestock animals doesn't decay. Does that apply to foxes? Does that apply to foxes? Anyway, I need to see a dead fox. How's it, chat? Tell me if the Jurchen bonus applies to foxes or not. Because they're not like a hunt or a herdable animal. You collect gold from them, but they also decay. Depends? What do you mean depends? What does it depend on? Monk lanced down. Another monk prepared to be lanced down. Maybe he does get a conversion. Steppies might need some husbandry. Yeah, they don't have husbandry there. Heavy Sword Kuma in this game have the same matchup. Is it favored for the Jurchens? Man, these Steppies are crazy good. Oh, Doubt almost got it on that wood line. The monk fended him off. Negative 25C this morning in Michigan. That is very cold. Oh, he also Doubt 5 relics behind this. Yeah, all the relics start around the wood line in the middle, around the Tower of London's outer wood line. And Doubt with this pressure has got all 5 of them. And Doubt, oh my gosh, look at this castle from Doubt. And there's no way Dog Gao stops this, right? Dog Gao's gonna, if Doubt's gonna throw this game, it's with a Doubt castle. Oh, Dog Gao's gonna do his own castle. Doubt's gonna say, do I raid with step lancers now? Is he devoted? See, he's not devoted. He'll swap his castle location, maybe put it out here though. And 2 conversions. Let's convert a steppy back. And there's his castle. So Dog Gao's saying this game isn't over with that castle, but he is saying it's over with the GG, seeing he can't stop Doubt's castle. Doubt ties it 2-2, and we are going to game number 5. We're going to game number 5. Oh, let's do this 54-24 KD for Doubt. You can see the Step Lancer raid in the stats. There we go. All the vills from Dog Gao dying. And game 5 on the way. This will be Doubt's home map. Looks very Doughty. I still think that game with the Mongols got away from him. So if he loses, I think that's the game he'll regret. Let's see, that was Vulpine and Hengehold. Okay, a map that had been banned because it was buggy. Hengehold. So that's Jurchens over the Byzantines. And Portuguese Magyars here? Bulgarians Huns? Bulgarians for men-at-arms on this map? I don't think Dog Gao doesn't use Portuguese, his first picked Civ. Magyars, I think, heavy cav archer late game should be good against the Portuguese. Remind me to do the ad. And if anyone gets an in-game ad, let me know. I'm trying to keep my eye on that and make sure they don't happen. I've been watching the same World of Warcraft ad over and over on my laptop just to check that. Magyar Hustler should be good versus organ guns. I think they'll just, even without the siege class, they'll still be good against them. Do they not have the siege class? Because you do need redemption to convert them. I actually forget if they have the siege class or not too, in addition to gunpowder. And I think against Portuguese, I'd favor Magyars over Huns. Portuguese don't really have a Pierce Armor unit for Tarkins. They do? Okay, yeah. So Magyar Hussar Heavy Cav Archer late game. We saw that on Arena the other day. Things like a combo that's hard to stop. They are in the lobby still. Yep, and just for purposes of... Oh, and they are launching. Well, I am wrong. Doubt went Huns. Doubt went Huns. Portuguese Huns. Doubt preferring Huns over Magyars, which is interesting to me. Huns over Magyars. But Huns for Doubt, Portuguese for Dog Gao. And let me just check what else is happening here. There's Sorokuma Vivi. And also Kapach Yo. So if you want some spoilers for the other sets right now, I don't think there's anything else we're going to be able to cast because we casted Mihi Sebastian earlier. And spoiler alert, close your ears if you don't want to hear for the next 30 seconds. Sorokuma versus Vivi. They're now a good ways into game number 5 on Thames. Byzantines for Vivi and Jurchens for Sorokuma, so that matchup we just saw. And Kapach Yo, as Arbase wrote in the chat earlier. Yo swept that 3-0. And Doubt Dog Gao looks like it'll be the last match for today. Just to go randomly FCC his Huns. They have Armor 0 Siege units. That should be the Siege Armor class, yes. Boomer Civ, hello Blood of the Hun. Oh, spoilers are over. What do I think of Siege Tower ban? I think it's good that they banned it, but also sad that they were not able to fix it in time or get a patch out. How's my Saturday going to boost? It's going pretty well. Able to cast some Age of Empires, got some other IRL stuff done in the morning. And what's this spec delay? Oh, they were loading in. These gotta load. These Empire Wars maps usually take a long time to load. And here we are. Doubt will be the blue Huns to the north, Dog Gao, the red Portuguese to the south. This map can have some rather unbalanced boar spawns. Looks like we have 2 boars on Doubt's side. Hengehold was removed because it was buggy. Doubt Dog Gao fighting with the scouts. Dog Gao trying to take a hill bonus. Doubt will use the Vil to fight the scout. And will lure in... Now, Doubt's played a lot of Rage Forest. Can he take 2 boars? He can't? He can't. Oh, and he's going to take a poke from the spear. That is awful. And will Dog Gao be able to block the Vil? Probably not. I think she's close enough to the TC. I agree with you, Arbase. I feel that Magyars was better. Maybe Doubt meant to choose Magyars. And they're both going to leave a Vil, or leave a boar out there. TC killing the boar over here. Vil's out on the boar. Archery range on its way up. And some scouts will pop out of that stable there. Vil's on the gold over here. Maybe Doubt wants to play full Castle Age and wants some more eco, maybe. Also, he's just more comfortable with Huns. Maybe he just wants to avoid needing houses. Because that's the thing with Huns, you don't have houses. And that actually is kind of bad for the Empire Wars start because you're much less walled and more open. You do have more room to place things. But it's not like you've benefited and gotten all that wood back. So with the scouts, Doubt's still going forward. Either way, I feel Cav Archer civs usually can do well against the Portuguese and against their gunpowder. And it will be the same late game combination of Cav Archer Hussar either way. Just a different brand of Hussar and a different Cav Archer option. Oh, is there a hole there? There is a hole. Ooh, Dog Gao left a hole in the wall. The scouts for Doubt don't have upgrades though. But they will look at the Vils on the barriers and take a fight on the hill. Yeah, that's the best fight he could have done there. Gets the Vil. Loses a scout. But probably happy to get the Vil snipe. And he gets the next boar. He gets the boar. Well done from him grabbing the boar. So 2 boars for Doubt. a villager kill, and 2 scouts being annoying as much as possible inside of Dog Gao's base. Why Portuguese can be good at the berries? Oh, that's true. Portuguese on the berries. And Vil quick walling Doubt in, but Doubt's up to the castle age first. Remember, the Portuguese do collect wood while gathering from the berries. And Doubt, let's see, no weak Vils over there. Still has to be wary of the spear. And for Dog Gao, no more weak Vils. Since you're not luring boars in the Dark Age, you don't really have weak Vils. And Doubt with some skirms forward to, I'd say, harass the gold, but here he's harassing the house. You javelin that house, Doubt. There you go. So Doubt up first. At the same time, though, a few archers and spears in the back of his base from Dog Gao, but Doubt there with skirms to chase that. Doubt just has to be careful not to lose Vils unnecessarily. Again, hard to be the Huns without houses. Clutching and armor on the way now for the skirms. And there's a Vil down for Doubt, so that ties the Vil kills. And I have to feel that some other players would have had this walled off in time. Even as the Huns, that'll be another Vil down. Now, didn't quite have the skirms there. The skirms at the front need to do more harassment on the gold, I think, to make up for the Vils that are dying. But still, 2 Vils dead. Not the worst. And Dog Gao will maybe have his units cleaned up, but did at least kill a couple of Vils while wandering around. And second range there from Dog Gao. Adding in more archers still, not going crossbows. And so Dog Gao, I've seen him play a lot of Huns Wars in his day. A player who does like to go for the archers in the Castle Age transition to get crossbow in, and try to have early numbers against the Cav archers. But here Doubt will have a round of production while Dog Gao is still up to the Castle Age. And slower Castle Age for more crossbows, that's his plan. As he did manage to loop around the back, and is this open? This is open here. So there is still a gap for him to get into the wood line. And I'd worry about that as Doubt, seeing as he hasn't found that army. And Doubt's worried about that too, so Doubt's initial Cav archers, they're not going forward. They're coming to the back to try to find those crossbows, and find them they will. Probably don't want to fight 3 Cav archers against the crossbows, but yeah, he has the Cav archers. This is the right position from him. He'll close the distance, do what he can to kill them. Dog Gao will try to pick Vils. Doubt will try to run the Vil, but he'll save the Vil. So perfectly done from Doubt there, realizing he lost track of the army. And at the front, he's still dancing with the skirms on the crossbows, so Dog Gao wasn't able to come forward with reinforcements. Dog Gao will add a second TC in the back on stone and on berries, sending a ton of Vils to the berries. Maybe dangerously leaving this TC without Vils that can garrison in it. Doubt always loses decider games, so don't be such a disbeliever in the chat. If you give Doubt some confidence. Going Elite Skirm before Bodkin. Well, he got Bodkin too, he realized. But yeah, you probably do want to click Bodkin first for the Cav archers, but maybe you just want to make sure your skirms stay alive. Honestly, I think that's the right choice here. It'll be in by the time the Cav archers come forward anyway, and here crossbows can't take a fight against the skirms, as they're elite. And oh my gosh, Dog Gao deletes a palisade because he wants to wall, and what a mistake that's going to be as Doubt gets in with the Cav archers. Doubt gets in with the Cav archers while Dog Gao is microing at the front, and Dog Gao just notices, but he's going to lose some Vils here. Well done from Doubt. The timing from Dog Gao, so unfortunate. 3 Vils down, and Doubt actually can get out. That Vil did not finish walling. Doubt wants to fight the crossbows. I don't like that decision. I can also see the mangonel on the back. Doubt? Okay, well he killed some crossbows there. I don't think that was good for him. Okay, he is walled in. So, did what he could with the Cav archers. And still some pressure on the front. But Dog Gao has a second TC, actually has a Vil lead despite that damage. And Doubt, 3-range CA, maybe needs another TC of his own. And there he goes, right back on his berries. So, all in all, I think that actually was probably the better trade for Dog Gao, considering Dog Gao is the second TC. Doubt losing all those CA for nothing. When I know he was really excited to get Vil kills, and didn't want to attack the Walling Vil, but I think attacking the Walling Vil there would have been the right choice, because then he could have ran out, and would have guaranteed an escape. You come in, do what damage you can, and get out. At least Dog Gao idling a Vil there, but he's taking a nice villager lead now. Down with more res collected so far, though. He might need to buy stone for a 3rd TC at some point. And he is thinking of picking a Vil, and he still can get in. Well, Dog Gao realized and wall that. Dog Gao realizes that doesn't go to the edge. He has the house foundation there. And can he get that Vil? Ooh, almost. 4 HP. And we'll get out those Cav Archers. That's what he needed to do the first time. So Dog Gao's still amassing crossbows. Crossbows are cheaper than CA. But at least the Huns themselves do have really cheap CA. And Doubt, will the Skirms find the Vils over here? Right now, Doubt's worried about the Mangonel at the front. Doesn't have his army grouped up entirely. That'll be a third TC for Dog Gao, but Doubt continuing to amass Cav Archers. Remember, Huns do miss the final Pierce Armor upgrade. So Portuguese going Arbalests in the long run, probably something they'd like to do. Doubt needs to keep moving with the Skirms. He's 2 tiles away from seeing a TC is there and getting a couple of Vil picks. But not going to be in time for him. Just as it goes up, you'll see it. Doing armor now for his units, and staying 2 TCs doing the University for ballistics. Looks like he wants to pressure and send a Vil forward for a workshop. He sees the TC there, and he thinks, okay, that TC is exposed. There's a nice hill from Mangonels. Let's pressure that TC. He also has 4 Vils on stone, so he could think about doing a TC himself, but needs ballistics if he's investing into the University first. That nice Doubt building a statue of himself to teach his Civ ballistics. And here we go with the fight with the Cav Archers. Mangonel goes for the Skirms. Cav Archers pick off the Mangonel. Another Mangonel in the back, but that looks like it was a good fight for Doubt. Remember, pound for pound, Cav Archers are stronger than crossbows. It's the range and cost of the crossbow that makes the difference. And Doubt going to destroy the Mangonel, and now pick off some Vils on the hill. Doubt just doesn't have ballistics right now for the fight, and kind of wants the Skirms in front of the Cav Archers there to tank. So 10 Vil lead for Dog Gao. And he needs to hold against a Doubt who... Where'd that Vil go? Did Doubt lose that forward Vil he had? Did he just go back for an outpost? Is she just an outpost Vil? And that's a market, not a TC. Still 3-range Cav Archers for Doubt. Ballistics is in. He wants to pressure as the Huns. Try to get another group maybe to head through those houses on the right. Dog Gao protecting the TC. Oh, did Dog Gao just delete walls and let Cav Archers in again? Decision time for Doubt. Does he dive in there? And he's going to say no. If he dives in, he gets walled, but could have killed a lot of Vils now that he has ballistics. And there you go. It will be workshop time for Doubt, as he does not yet have Thumb Ring. And feels like Doubt wants to play this very aggressively as he gets another TC up in the back. So far, so good in terms of res collected from him. Dog Gao more Vils, but he's been idled quite a bit. He's moving out for thinking of a mining camp there, but he'll have to wall that off. Doubt will get in the back, and where will he go? Lots of Vils on that wood line. And with ballistics, he should get a couple of kills here. Can he get 1 Vil? Yes, he can get 1 Vil. There we go. At the same time, oh, he finally dove. He finally dove on the other side too. Where is Dog Gao's army? Dog Gao's army is on the front, and maybe Doubt made the right call going all in Castle Age here with his military, as Dog Gao will call the GG. The Cav Archers are disrupting Vils on the left, on the right, and he's losing crossbows to Skirms at the front, and Dog Gao calls it, and Doubt will do it. 3-2. He still has to get through Lewis and then MBL, but Doubt has a shot. He did it. I was worried after losing that Mongols game, but he does it. Doubt. There's hope for Doubt. Oh, there is hope for Doubt. Jurchen's bonus does apply to foxes. Oh, yes. My chat catching up on YouTube. Confirming. Yes. I think someone said that in Twitch too. So let's check out the stats. Doubt has a shot. Doubt has a shot. 39-21 KD for Doubt. Economy, much better for Doubt. Technology, faster castle time. And he made the right call. He made the right call going for Cav Archers, whereas Dog Gao spent more time booming, trying to defend with the crossbows. Part of me feels that Dog Gao maybe should have gone Skirm there. I don't know, but worked out for Doubt. Worked out for him. The Portuguese bonus for the berries, not enough. And Doubt with the Huns. We were questioning the Huns versus Magyars, but maybe Doubt, realizing the Cav Archer discount early on was the appropriate bonus for how open the map is. Doubt does it. Is that today? Nope, that will be tomorrow. I think we're done with Red Bull for today. I was a bit late getting live, but I think we're actually done with Red Bull for today. So from here on out, spoiler alert, we're going to look at the brackets and the other sets. So that's Doubt winning both of his home maps. So the Aztecs game on Crownwood, the one game where a player didn't win their home map. Huns are still Huns, 2025, but the Huns are still Huns. Never change, Huns, never change. Alright, so here we are. Our page just got updated. Refresh. We are refreshing. Alright, here we are. Doubt. Eating Dog Gao. He will face Lewis, and the winner of that will face MBL. What is this? This is a best of 5. Okay, best of 5, and then the set against MBL doesn't say if that's a best of 5 or a best of 7. I don't know what the settings are. Move that way. Alright, down here. Sorakuma Vivi 1. He will advance to face freaking Andy. The winner faces Vinchester. Sebastian Mihi, we casted that. Sebastian won. Sebastian Sato, followed by Viper. And one more at the top. Kapach lost to Yo, and then Tato Yo, followed by winner of that facing Barrels. So I think Yo should be the favorite for both of those matchups. Either player definitely capable of beating Yo. Tato Yo are faced in the finals of many tournaments over the years. Very familiar with each other. But I still would favor Yo in these settings. They do the brackets in order. So are we going to cast 8 sets tomorrow in order? There's Solified. I think, is he in Australia, I think? Okay, 8 sets tomorrow. All 8. And they do them in order starting at 13 GMT? Is it 13 GMT? Do we have a start time confirmed? Oh wait, that's when the ladder ended? Yes. Let's see, schedule. January 25th tomorrow. Oh, and then there's... Wait, what? That schedule's not correct, right? Is it? So they're overlapping? So 12 GMT, that's 7 AM for me. Great, I gotta wake up super early. I'm confused. There's gonna be lots of overlap here. And then directly after that, the final. Okay, so it's like we cast one minor ladder round, and then we either do the next minor ladder or we do the final after it, and we can all converge at 12:30 GMT on the final. Okay. Has been Empire War or Admin wins today. Were they for stream delay? Nope. There they were because Classic Pro is in Ukraine and because of the war did not have power. All right, well. Can't get up and cast 2 games simultaneously at 7 AM. Oh, Smiley, thank you so much for the raid, Smiley. Thank you. Hope you had a good stream. We're just looking at the bracket. Yeah, tomorrow we have Sato, he'll face Sebastian, and then after that, the winner will face Viper to qualify. Well, thank you so much for the raid, Smiley, and I hope you had a good vacation, too, over the past few weeks. I've been seeing your posts about that. That looked like a lot of fun. I could use some warm weather here. It's cold. No frozen hot pepper pizza. Just get 4 people in a voice chat and cast at the same time. Arbase knows how to do it. Should we like just cast a random game? I feel like I wasn't streaming enough today. Everyone else will go offline. We'll just cast something. Chat was funny today. Well, glad you had a good stream. Everyone's pinging me. Okay. I gotta instruct Ornlu to get a Wise account so that he doesn't have payment fees on international transactions. So, is there anything going on? Is there anyone playing games on the ladder? Eli and Dobbs. Dark Noob's playing some Arena. Oh, is that Waman in the chat? Hello. How are you doing? Is that Crab in the chat too? What's everyone doing in the chat? Hello. You're so cooked. I saw you were streaming earlier. Did you stream a lot today? You were streaming some Red Bull, but the AoE 4. You had wine during your cast? I had coffee during my cast. I think one of those is more helpful than the other. One of those is more fun than the other, though. So, what do we want to do, chat? Let's keep casting something. Let's cast maybe... Let's see, 6 minutes on Socotra. We'd miss more than 10 minutes on Arena. We'll go Socotra. You do pro style tomorrow? Alright, tomorrow I have a lot of casting too. I have 8 sets to cast. So, oop, Doubt is victorious. I didn't leave the previous game. You didn't get an email that I was casting? I might have forgotten to post in Discord too. Alright, so let's do this Socotra game. We'll cast Eli because he's one of the top USA players. I'll pause when we get into it. You had one Socotra game? I casted John Slow T90 on Socotra. Doubt versus Lewis predictions. I will predict Doubt 3-2. Now let me change my stream title real quick. Casting ladder games tomorrow at 12 GMT. Oh yeah, also, Wellman, did you decide on your visa issues and if you're going to attend or not yet? Because I am very, very, very close to confirmed to attending. I just need to still schedule flights and stuff. Not yet. You're waiting for 2 papers. Well, I hope that you get all the papers squared away. You'll know in 2 weeks. Well, good luck. Good luck. All right, so we're done with Red Bull for today. Oh, my YouTube chat. I need to make sure I see my YouTube chat. Who made the deepest run from the farthest back? I don't know if anyone really was far back, because when you play like several hundred games on the ladder, I think you're pretty set in your seedings. Ranked. Everyone I saw on the standings there seemed pretty secure, like they were a good player who doesn't really surprise me. So here we are. Sorakuma is the lowest seed that got to the last 12, and even that Sorakuma, you expect Sorakuma to do well, right? He's a top player these days. Anyway, we will have Eli, and I saw Eli versus Dobbs, and Eli, I met him at the Hidden Cup meetup a while ago. He's one of the top USA players. 2K1 against Dobbs, who's 2K2 right now. It'll be Turks versus Bulgarians on Socotra. Socotra, a very small, very tiny map. You're boxed in, and you have a lot of Vil fights, a lot of laming. Dobbs immediately took the elephant and now gets a couple volleys of arrows on that scout. You made the deepest run from far back because you're long-sighted, so have to sit quite far from the screen? Where did you run, though? And then we'll have the elephant down here for Eli. And Eli not taking his elephant. Yeah, that's a far elephant for Socotra. This is where I'd say if this were a tournament and I'm scripting the maps, I'd have to adjust that. Ran to the kitchen. Oh, that's right. You're a Brit. You ran to the kitchen to get tea. Right. I get it. I get it. I'm aware of your crippling tea addiction. Isn't that true for everyone from the UK, though? Isn't your society built around the fact that everyone's addicted to tea and thus you are prepared to function? Some people are wrong. Barbarous on Twitch, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Also, we are very close to 15k followers. You are follower number 14,872. We are almost there. Coffee is popular these days. As an American, I'm proud. There's a genuine argument that the Renaissance might have been triggered by coffee reaching Europe. Does not sound surprising. So what is Dobbs doing over here? He will scout the wood line. We'll check his scouting and see that he sees Eli with a couple of Vils on wood. Vils popping out of the TC still as the scout over here for Eli will start pushing in a zebra. People had something to perk them up past 12 o'clock, considering that they were all drinking low-strength alcohol all day. And that's a very good point, too. Alcohol often, from what I've heard, was healthier than water back then, because it did a better job of killing any of the nasty stuff that would have been inside of the liquid. Common misconception. Yeah, it's a disinfectant. Yeah, Don Pato Pesto is going to be our expert here. At least as far as the Burgundians are concerned. Yeah, people did drink water.
Evet.
I don't think there's ever been a point where people didn't drink water. Gonna unfollow so you can come back and get the 15,000th follower prize? I don't know. I don't know if that counts if you unfollow and refollow. Only if you replace your unfollow with a friend who follows. Back when he turned all the water into wine, it was for health purposes. And, oh, this is a palindrome. Esitai Tisei, thank you for the follow. That is totally not how you pronounce that. But at least I picked up on the fact that it's a palindrome. So, Loom for Dobbs, but Eli will be up first. What do the Turks do? Turks have to be super awkward on this map without elite skirms. Bulgarians can go aggressively for men-at-arms, but what are the Turks going to do without elite skirms? Nice double mining camp, though, for Eli on the gold and on the stone. So, will help if he wants to go towers. And the Greeks considered the Macedonians barbarians because they didn't dilute their wine before drinking. Dobbs walling. Never before seen strategy for a player who might like playing arena. YOLO castle drop from the Turks. Maybe you go feudal skirm to castle drop on this map. Maybe you go tower rush with a vill on stone. 3 vills coming forward. That barracks vill will probably come forward. It's almost like ladder and best of X are 2 different things. That is, I think, very true. I do think the claim that Viper being better set for the best of X rather than the ladder is probably very true. Eli's a big Nomad player. So Archer is here for Eli as he is up first and forward. No men-at-arms for him, though. No men-at-arms also from Dobbs. And it will be a tower this time on the berries. The scout will suffer from having taken TC fire, especially as the Turks, when you want to save your HP for the light cav upgrade, he will run back to the TC, but there's nothing in the TC to garrison, so he'll have to run past the... Oh, he actually gets to the scout to turn around. Complete debate there. Dobbs did not have to turn around. There's nothing in the TC to shoot him. But there is Eli. Eli's coming and will deny the berries. I think Doubt's doing better because of the format too. I think so, and like I said, I think Doubt got what was probably the best matchup for him. Tato Barrels, I think, also would have been possible for Doubt. But he managed to avoid Yo, Viper, Vinch, and Andy, which I think was important for him. And Ogadai Khan OK, thank you for the follow. And Bang Bob, thank you also for the follow. Welcome everyone. Probably just going to cast a game or 2 and then hop off so I can sleep in time for Red Bull tomorrow morning. We have a big snowstorm also here tonight. We're in a state of emergency now. I'm going to wake up tomorrow to a ton of snow. And stone walls for Dobbs, who has to wall to keep this tower rush out. Feudal Age stone walls though, so Vils might be able to fight through. Blacksmith on the way for him as he is making some archers. Archers may be dangerous against the unwalled Turks, who probably don't want to go skirms without the elite skirm upgrade to defend. Eli could maybe wall Dobbs in. Actually, a bit of walling here, around here to the berries, and Dobbs essentially is walled in. Have fun with the snowstorm. Oh, Dabooz, hope you also have fun with the snowstorm. And wall going down. Oh, Karma in effect. Thank you for the sub.
I hear the growl of the jaguar. Is this a bad omen?
Oh, the growl of the jaguar. Thank you. Ready for the 2 feet of snow you're supposed to get. Just gonna stay in and watch Red Bull games. I'm just gonna stay in and cast Red Bull games. And then I guess on Monday I probably shovel the snow. Depending on when it stops. Need to remember to put my headphones on to hear the alerts. Now, thank you for the sub. I think we're now 26 subs away from the tuxedo. So if we get enough subs tomorrow, then we cast Red Bull in a tux. That's going to be a lot of fun, I think. When is hearing the growl of a big predatory cat in the jungle a good omen? Maybe if you are captured by your enemies and you're ready for the jaguar to go eat all of the other enemies in the camp, and the jaguar is an animal you've raised and trained since birth and treats you as a parent and is trained to protect you. Maybe then. Eli got this 100%. No snowstorm for you? Really? You miss it then. And Dare Peter 7030, thank you for the follow. Is when do cats follow training? Well, if that line were trained, the archers wouldn't have had to kill it. And Eli's still defending with his archers. Eli's gonna call the GG. Well, who said Eli got this 100%? Jabby? Eli doesn't agree with you. He, well, needed a skirm or two, maybe. He was up 34-30. And then the archers came forward and he died. He's 4 vols ahead. Res collected are pretty similar. Just needed 1 tower. If he had a market, could have bought his way up. Poor Eli. Eli, what are you doing? Showing us the skill of the United States at AoE 2. Oh, GG. Eli's great. Maybe he recognizes the growl because he raised it. Dog Gao should have picked Bulgarians. Where am I located? I'm in Jersey. I'm in northern Jersey, kind of outside New York City. So let's find one more game to cast. I can do one more. Everyone else went offline, right? We can do more AoE content. Let's see, where is the dashboard? How about some arena? We'll cast Dark Noob against Mauricio. He used to live in Bogota up there by Hackensack. He has a few Jersey people I've met. Baskets used to live in Jersey. Ugly lives 20 minutes from me. When she goes on her biking streams, I realize, hey, I know those areas. Watching that too, waiting for sniping one of them after. Hello, Dobbs. Yeah, GG. Everyone say GG for Dobbs. Should we leave Mauricio in gray? Let's put him in blue. I have enough gray weather outside right now. I could use some color. So GG. Well, a snowy version of Arena. We'll have some of those snow autumn trees in the middle and mixed in with the snow pine trees on the outside. Bit of hills on the outside on this version of Arena. I don't think I'll ever get used to that. But there we have Feudal Age for Dark Noob. They were quite a ways into this game, so we'll have to catch up. Next round of qualifiers tomorrow, 12 GMT they start. So I will, that is 7 AM for me. I'll have to wake up at 6 AM. And get ready to cast super early. So Dark Noob, Mauricio both up. And where are we? Is this just the Light Cabin Boom game? Might be a Light Cabin Boom game. So scouts running around, some spears there for Dark Noob. Dark Noob collecting relics. And this is a Dark Noob game, so even though they're 20 minutes in, we might be here for 4 hours. So gate opened, but then closed. Mauricio not running in. And 2-2 as far as relics go. Burbu's Teutons, interesting late game where Teutons probably don't like facing the camel archers. But otherwise are a good arena save in their own right. And listen to all those foxes. The sounds those foxes make confuse me. Although they sound so innocent when they die. So, forward castle from Dark Noob. Eco's pretty similar so far. Forward castle for Mauricio. They'll both be up to Imp. Oh, Turs, thank you for the raid. I was thinking we'd raid Turs after this game, but he's raiding us. Thank you so much for the raid, Turs. Hope you're having a good day and that you had a wonderful stream. So, Treb War now. Some Cavaliers in the castle. Treb goes down. Hand Cannoneers are at the front. East Coast, yep. East Coast. So, cannon out for Dark Noob. As we're speeding through this game. Heavy camel there for Mauricio. Here come Paladins! Paladins and Pikemen pushing for Dark Noob, but Heavy Camel ready to stop the Paladins and fighting under the castles. Castles clear the halves. Looks like the Paladins are pushing in. And speed casting as the Trebs take out the castles. And we gotta be close to real time soon, but it looks like Dark Noob's getting a good lead here with Paladin Halb. Oh, and it is GG. It is GG. Alright, so they were finished with the game when we joined. So Dobbs can go try to snipe on the ladder, play some arena. Paladin for the win. The West Coast? East? I thought you said West. So let's look at that. Same exact feudal time. 5-minute different castle time. Close imp time, but Teuton's too strong. East Coast. Okay, there's no one playing right now. I'll show you the new updated dashboard, which looks beautiful. Oh, Dobbs did get someone. Yeah, Varvaris. It's still a bit, I think, a bit awkward with the on hover menus. Kind of hard to get them working properly, but I love the UI over redesign. All the other tabs got some redesigns too. Okay, not this tab, but the other tabs. Oh, there's also some TTL tomorrow too. We might swap back and forth between TTL and Red Bull, or maybe we just do TTL during the week or TTL after Red Bull. I don't know. I'm gonna be casting lots of TTL next week. And the browser tab. This looks cool. Lobbies and ongoing. You can. Ooh, look at that animation. Boom. Analytics? I don't know of any, honestly. You just watched a quadruple dupe. Please give me wholesome AoE 2 content. Quadruple douche sounds wholesome. So let's see. We can cast one more game. Dobbs for Varus on Arena. I don't know. Honestly, stats. That's an interesting question. I don't have a good answer to that. I wish I did. Would be probably something that you could discover and report back if you come up with something. Yeah, one more game. I feel like we need a proper game to end things on. Hello, Red Kanzi. Did the douchers win? I've been looking for a Teuton game ever since we really did that Teutonic Knight cosplay. Finally got one, at least. Is there an open tool to parse data from Rex? There is the Rec Parser. Happy Leaves maintains that. Yeah, AOC MGZ. Oh, so here we are. An arena game right from the start. Dobbs, it's his turn to play Berbers, and Berbers versus Mongols. How does this go? Is this camel archers? What do Mongols do against camel archers? HGF. Have good fun, I guess. You too. Says Varvaris, who has removed the S from his name. Yeah, no clear insights since playstyles are different. It might be cool to compare... I know that there are some tools for saying what opening players do, like scouts versus archers versus men-at-arms or whatnot. Maybe to compare win rates of one opening versus another opening. See if there are any general trends of what's good versus different openings. There's only so much you can go there because how you then play and extend after that, it can be very different. But maybe there's something to be gleaned from a very early feudal analysis of different playstyles. So Chicken Arena, do you think we'll see funnels? Are these players going to have fun with funnels? I'm seeing this one starting house is perfectly positioned for a funnel. So you do your second house here, the diagonal gate there, and then a bit of a palisade, and all those chickens just get funneled. Being PhD in data science took a long time thinking about it, as I have the AoE knowledge, but it's rather hard to find anything useful. Does it know which unit each unit ID refers to? I don't know what you'd want to do with that. Oh, well, the capture age rec file format is its own thing. I don't know if there are any tools for analyzing those. I guess you probably are right in thinking that it does contain more info than just the command lists of the rec files. I've not looked into that at all. There's another house coming up for Dobbs. And mill on the berry. So I'm still looking for a chicken funnel. I want these players to funnel. We have a... Oh, what is this? Stone mining camp opening. So it looks like we'll have a Mangadai opening. Or a Trush. Oh, this has to be a Trush then. So we'll have a Trush opening from Varvara. Man, I haven't seen a good Trush on Arena in a while. We'll see how this works. And yeah, Loom on the way. So this is 100% 17 pop up Tower Rush from the Mongols. And how will this work out if you don't have deer to push? And you didn't take any chickens? Will he have the food to go up in time? I guess so. He used feudal. Okay, I guess the boars are enough. Now, the benefit these days is you will have the foxes to take on your way forward. Latter version of Arena has a couple of predator animals, though. Tigers out there to eat your vills. Rex are like a sequence of events, right? No, it's a sequence of commands. It's the inputs that players enter. It doesn't save game state, aside from the starting state. Or I think you can explicitly go to the menu and create save points for jumping back and forth between times in a rec, but I doubt anyone does that. So, oh my gosh, this is a big trush, six vills forward. Will he take some foxes on the way there? Get some gold for range if he wants to go for a Vinch-style trush? Yes, he will. Oh, wow, look at that. Tiger. Look at it go. Takes down the Vill, and the Vills will take the foxes. Also comes down to Civ and varies a lot. Essentially, Kramers. Essentially. I've not looked into the format myself. Happy Leaves can probably give you a better answer, but that's my understanding of it. Essentially, initial state and player inputs, whereas the Capture Age file format they do contains more state information, to my knowledge. Yeah, you can save chapters, which are like a new save game with the state saved. Yep. There's also a way, I know in the past, I don't know if you can still do it in DE, but if you were watching a recorded game in-game, you could actually go to the menu and click save, and then load it, and then start playing the game from that save point. So you kind of create a save game from the rec. Matchups are in? Matchups for what, Arbase? Wait, matchups for what? What does Arbase put into the chat? RBW? Didn't we know the matchups already? Didn't we know that? Like all the sets finished? Oh, you meant times. Okay, are the times changing then? Alright, so fighting the gate with 6 vills. That gate will go down. No archery range. just a pure tower rush. There will be a second tower here. Dobbs looked like he wanted to go for an FC. So 24 Vils, 25 pop for the FC. Did he do Loom? He did do Loom. He has gold and stone in the back, so he might be content to go feudal, do a second tower to fight this off, and then go FC behind this. Might be tricky to pull off a clean FC. And he still would have to wall behind this. 25 seconds. And he didn't try to... There's one thing you could do. You can send a bunch of Vils forward to try to wall behind the tower where they break through. But breaking through the gate somewhat counters that because you need 2 houses to wall it off. So Blacksmith and Market going up for Dobbs. Berber's kind of perfect counter to Mongols. The Hills try to fight through the palisade. And a couple of farms come up here. And lots of walls coming up from Dobbs. So, as I said, fast castle wall approach. Not going to go for a second tower. We'll simply go for stone walls. This is where things get risky if you lose the market or the blacksmith to another tower that comes forward. And you will have to stone wall behind the palisades. How much food are on those berries? I was looking for a berry to have 3 or 4 food on it, and then Varvaros could forage it himself. Another tower forward as the Vils keep breaking through the walls. And Castle Age on the way for Dobbs. So, Vils continue stonewalling. As the tower goes up. And Vils will want to break through the market. And Castle Age coming in for Dobbs. So, what will he do when he's up? No stone, so has to be a defensive workshop. Not going to get a second TC. And all the map control will be here for the Mongols player, for Varvaris. Adding in a stable, so the stable here is for ensuring that Dobbs won't be able to sneak out with monks and collect relics. Could also try to run in and snipe mangonels with the scouts too. And once Castle Age does eventually come in for Varvaris, can go steppies, can go knights, can go camels. And this is what I was saying, losing the market is awkward now if you want to rebalance your eco. So workshop is up, some defensive walling along with it to the side. And we will probably see mangonels as soon as that's up. Bowsaw on the way as well, so eco upgrades for Dobbs. But you have to be careful here with the eco difference, because by staying feudal, Varvaris has more Vils, but also because he has 6 Vils forward, he's essentially foregoing the villager advantage. So there's the market. Gates up. The scouts are in, though. 2 Vils walled outside the gates. That's awkward. Don't think they can hop the TC. And the scouts are in. The scouts are in. And Vils have to wall behind this. And quick walls coming up. How effective will they be? Very effective so far on that gold. Lots of wood spent on houses, though. That won't be around for mangonels, and the scouts still do get in. Only 3 scouts, though, so Vils can fight, and the mangonel can try to get a shot on the fleeing scouts. And the mangonel down right away. Ooh, that is ugly for Dobbs. So, scouts still running around. Will they go for a Vil? Yes, they will. They'll stack garrison in the TC. Scout running around to the back. At least the gold is safe for Dobbs. But imagine having 2 mangonels right now taking out a tower. Instead, it's 1 mangonel fighting scouts. So, downside of losing the market. Tons of effects afterwards of opening your eco, losing the ability to exchange resources, and now he's floating a ton of gold and lacking a bit of wood. You're constantly spending wood on farms in this situation. You don't want to fall behind an eco. You see Varvaris has caught up in Nico quite a bit. And Varvaris up to the Castle Age himself. And what does he do with his forward vills? Still 5 vills in the tower. He should have another vill somewhere. And 2 mangonels. 3 mangonels created, though. And they will go for the tower. And another mangonel down. Oh my gosh, these mangonels. They're dying. How many mangonels? We only have 1 left. And some vills going down. Oh, this is horrible for Dobbs. He's in the Castle Age, but he doesn't have any Castle Age buildings, and he's going to be castle dropped. If this tower stays up, he's castle dropped. I don't think with the mangonel, Varvaris can do the castle here, but he should be able to do it out here and still cover that gold. Here's maybe an interesting decision. If you're Varvaris, could you rush up a university and do guard tower, then go for the castle drop? Because then the mangonels become kind of useless. And you can even add step lancers or knights or whatever you want to try to pick them off. There's armor for the scouts. And I think there are probably many ways you could end the game now. 1 knight will be devastating. Knight probably even better than the step lancer because of the TC fire. No fletching, so with 1 armor, the knight will be great. And there he is, up, abandoning the tower, adding in a workshop, and probably wants his own mangonels then for the castle drop. As long as he does something to protect the castle vills, he's okay. So double stables, but has to be a castle now. And where is the castle? Right here? You're not walled out. Where's the castle? Oh, he doesn't want the castle until more vills get forward. Okay, vills on their way. Here come a couple of steppies. And Lancers trying to break through the palisade. So 3 mangonels, is that enough to stop a castle drop? Again, breaking walls when he could go around. Doesn't like walking. Doing a market. And a mangonel. This is what I'm thinking. Hear me out. So 1 or 2 mangonels as you run in with your cav, and you get a guard tower up over here somewhere, and you use the guard tower to protect you from the mangonels while doing a castle. So instead of the stable and extra steppies, you do university guard tower, and then get the castle up. Alright, so palisade's going down, making room for the castle. And Dobbs' chance of surviving here is to one-shot the castle foundation. There go the palisades, again, making room for the castle. The odds, well, the elos technically give you the probabilities. If you treat elo as accurately giving a probability. Dobbs 68%, right between 6-7 and 6-9. I think that curses him. And a defensive castle from Dobbs, getting the castle up first. Is there a chance that Dobbs does the castle and then wins a race to Imp and wins a Treb fight? Does he have higher odds with lower elo? I don't know. It might be using the arena-specific elo, too. That's one of the ladders. Based only on elo? Oh, it's not based only on elo. Alright. And Bodkin, wheelbarrow for Dobbs. Probably click up to Imp. His eco's set up for it. His eco is well set up for Imp. The great thing about his position was he knew exactly what he wanted to do and could set up the eco for it. Dobbs was constantly struggling to get mangonels out. And when you go up to the castle age that quickly, you're hurting for eco. And it's a weird thing to say because he has 1k more res collected. But losing a couple of mangonels early on puts him pretty far behind when his plan was to make mangonels. And the scouts that got in kind of foiled that plan. Mangonels dodging? We'll need some repairers, but Imp's probably more important. And I was saying Dobbs' hope would be to win a Trebor, but not in the cards if he's up more slowly. He's selling everything, though, and still can't go up. Minor market usage, and there we have Imp for Varvaris. And, of course, the strength of the Tower Rush on Arena is your own stone walls at home, meaning that you, yourself, cannot be counter-rushed when you go for the towers. So, Blacksmith hit by the mangonels. And Imperial Age on the way there for Dobbs. I've seen someone just ignore a Trush and go double Workshop for it. And that can work, Crab, that can work. But that's getting past the walls, right? That's getting past the walls. If you can wall at home and then do that, then you probably kill them. Yeah, if someone walls up themselves, then... Unless they do some type of siege tower shenanigans. Or forward castle drop. Or forward double workshop, as you say. It's hard to counterattack. Not impossible, but makes it harder. That's how to counter a castle drop sometimes. You just kind of ignore it, go forward for your own castle, and have a better eco. Prep for Imp a bit better. Yeah, and he's getting the relics now. All this map control gives the relics to Varvaris. Upgrades will we see in Imp? Do we even see upgrades in Imp? Because what do upgrades give you at this point? Maybe Bracer for more range for the castles. I feel like it's all about the Trebor. And if you destroy the castle from Varvaris, then you just run in with whatever cav you have and win. Trebs destroy the TC too. There's a chance Dobbs rushes chemistry for Bombard Cannon. But again, the castle and TC go down. Mangadai snipe off the cannon. Here's Bodkin for the Camel Archers. And Camel Archer production from the castle rather than a Treb. Well, I guess we're not Imp yet, never mind. Wrong player getting Imp. Imp first, and there are the Trebs. Mangonel still pushing through the walls. Oh, no! Varvaris Mangonel's his own Mangonel. Thinking, let's clear the palisades. There we go. Alright, but now it's Treb time. Nope, Camel Archer time. Camel Archer time. So this is maybe Dobbs thinking, okay, I'm gonna lose this castle. Okay, never mind. I was coming up with an explanation like he's thinking I'm gonna lose the castle, but I need Camel Archers to counter the Mangadai, so I'll lose the castle, but then hold with cannon with chemistry. But no, he's going for Trebs. Oh, nice Mangonel shot on the Step Lancers. Nice Mangonel shot. That was beautiful. Okay, so a couple of unfortunate Mangonel shots for Varvaris, one of his own doing, one of Dobbs' doing. And so far collecting relics, he only has 3 of them, but 2 more to grab. His monks there standing idle, taking a bit of a break. And Treb running to the back. And if you are going for the Treb fight, not getting too many Mangadai for sniping the Trebs. And the question for Dobbs is simply, will he have resources to do Trebs and cannon? Mangadai in the castle. Dobbs is ready to game. Into game. Yeah, a few more Mangadai could get in the castle, add some arrows to it. But the timing advantage on the Trebs will be great. And then the TC goes down. We do have a second TC, though, for Dobbs, trying to boom in the back. Does have more resources collected. And with the Bombard Cannon, if he can protect it from the Mangadai, he should be okay. The Trebs immediately can hit the next TC. And then probably they can clean the workshop, too, to stop the cannon production. Maybe even would have been better to have hit the workshop first to deny cannon. Of course, there can be more workshops in the back, but the timing on this push matters. And had the Trebs gone for the workshop rather than the TC, that cannon wouldn't have popped out. Maybe the Mangadai kill the cannon anyway. It's just a waste of resources. Oh, Janitors! Janitors, those should counter Mangadai, right? Those should counter Mangudai. Genitors versus Skirms. Genitors are more cool, so they win based on that, I think. Mangonels don't do anything. And the cannon goes for the castle. This castle will go down. And Dobbs now, more Vills, more res collected, but doesn't have the relics. Honestly, this might be where Varvaris wants to bring the relics home, if he's losing some of the push. Okay, Dobbs still managing to hold. Mangudai, though, trying to be Mangudai. Monks for the Genitors. Oh, nice Mangonel shot on the Mangudai. No more castle for Mangudai production. Split there, they go for the Mangonel, but the Genitors will force them away. They need to heal. Those 3 Mangudai are so valuable now, and I think Dobbs could do this. Dobbs could do this. Treb sniping off Genitors, though. Treb's going for the workshop again. That workshop won't go up. That stable probably won't go up. Dobbs, 2 TCs in the back, and he still has enough room back here for some more farms, some more production buildings. Mangudai go down, sniped by the Genitors. And Dobbs, it's a 1k score difference, but I think Dobbs has this. I think Dobbs has this. Want a revenge for the Mangonels. See, this is why we watch arena games. I love watching arena games. Dobbs counter-trebbing. And Dobbs was prepared, had just enough military after losing the castle to hold, but now he has to deal with Skirms. Remember, Skirms are the best unit in the game, and while they probably can't pick off the Trebs, they can help pick off the Repairvilles. These are Skirms with Bracer. No chemistry, but they do have Bracer. The Genitors do have Bracer and chemistry, so 1 more attack. And with armor differences, that'll matter. 1 Treb for Dobbs goes down. And maybe, oh, he's gonna, dang it. I thought he had it there. I thought he had it there for a moment, but too many Skirms. Problem for him is that Varvaris made the best unit in the game, the Skirmisher. And now he's Omega dead. For a second, I thought the Mangudai were dead. Maybe there'd be a follow-up with the eco he has. 4k more res collected, but no follow-up there. 15 Vills, not enough. And unfortunately, someone asked how do Skirms do versus Genitors. Well, at this point in the population, the Skirms win. Skirms win the game easy. Indeed. So 37 to 26 KD. And yeah, you can see the Skirms on the graph. You can see the Skirms on the graph. I was watching the Trebs. I wasn't watching the Skirms. I missed the Skirms. There we go. Skirms win it in the end. As you expect. They are the best unit in AoE. No doubt about that. Anyway, let's go raid someone on Twitch. And I think that's it for me. I need to sleep so I can cast early tomorrow morning. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the Red Bull. We'll be back bright and early at 12 GMT if I wake up that early. Let me see. We will raid someone who is live on Twitch right now. I have stuff from a while ago. And who's there? Let's raid Baron. I don't think I've raided Baron in a while. So I'll send a raid over to Sir Baron. I'll end stuff on YouTube too, and I will see you all tomorrow. So goodbye.